Yo, what the fuck is going on, Mayvizzle fans, followers? Brought to you by another week. Another week. Brought to you by another episode. This is the second episode this week. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, Night Shift merchandise brought to you by Night Shift Merchandise and Deathmatch Worldwide. We got fucking one of the craziest people that I've seen in the business. If you haven't seen the promo clip that I put together for this, you just take a look at the Twitter, the Instagram. You probably have seen it. This was like probably the most seminal clip out of deathmatch wrestling this last year. The man Hoodfoot, he's an absolute savage, an absolute monster. He's wrestled in like 22 promotions last year, give or take. I believe about 69 matches and maybe more. I don't know. He's so fucking active. He's doing all this crazy shit, crazy spots, squirting blood out the head. I've never seen anything like it, and I am shocked that I was able to get a hold of him because he is such a big name in deathmatch wrestling right now. I am honored to introduce to you Hoodfoot. Yeah, man, I am ecstatic that you were able to make it here today. It's fucking awesome, dude. You know, you've done so much shit just in this last year alone. And you said 2020 was when you felt like you were heating up. I was listening to you on some other interviews. And how do you feel now that 2021 is in the books and you went and were just insanely active?
I'm first and foremost, man. I truly do feel blessed, man. Look, I'm not even. I can't bullshit you and be like, oh man, it is nothing but hard work. There was some luck involved in it, man. But more importantly, is determination. Like I said, 2020 was definitely a year like where I felt like I was like, all right, I'm finally kind of getting my feet under me. And 2021, it was things just start happening and happening and happening, and I just started making doors open, you know. And one of the biggest doors that I wanted to go through was deathmatch wrestling. And once I knocked out the first one with Casanova and No Ring, it was a 4th of July weekend when I knocked that one out. That man, I just kept going, and it was getting to a point where I was like, man, I think I'm finally getting to a point where I'm comfortable enough to say that like I am a deathmatch wrestler. Because one of my biggest things was I never wanted to take on that title, without proving that I could stand in the ring with some of the best. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people out here who like, oh, I'm a deathmatch wrestler, and you're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, man. I think it's fucking nuts that, you're not holding a title yet at an organization. You've held titles in the past.
Yeah,
But right now it's a trip watching your trajectory because you're like that guy that is wrestling all the top guys. You're going everywhere. You just wrestled Alex Colon this last week and got the salt tossed on you. That was fucking crazy too, man. Like how do you feel being in that position where you're like, are you getting calls from fucking everywhere and shit?
you know, I look, I am getting some very interesting emails that towards the later part of this year it's gonna look is because you think what I did with Alex is crazy. I'm getting some pretty decent emails and some pretty decent DMs that within this following year it's gonna seem like it's nuts. Um, one of those DMs, one of those matches is gonna be happening. It's gonna be February 19th in Atlantic City for GCW. Myself versus Matt Tremont, which all in all, man, it was a match that I legitimately didn't think was gonna ever happen. after he retired. And then when he came back, I was like, maybe there's a chance. So I'm over the moon about this match, man.
That's gonna be fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that's fucking nuts. Like you're wrestling, so you have this lined up. Who else is on your list of like dream matches like that people you want to wrestle?
So dream matches, obviously, like the very top of my list. I'm not even, I've made it known for a while. The very top of my list is Eddie Kingston, point blank, period. He's up there. I have Homicide, G Ravers, somebody I desperately want to wrestle, as well as Akira is a person I want to wrestle because I've known Akira since about our first year wrestling. Like I might have been in my second, and he might have been in his first, or we both were in our first year when we first met. And we've wrestled before in a UWFI match, but I honestly think we can make some crazy magic happen in a death match. Big F and Joe was on my list until this weekend. I get to go ahead and check him off, which is, man, like I said, it's insane looking at my calendar and going like, damn, this is pretty dope. Um, Debuting for GCW was definitely on my list, and dude, I can't even be mad. I can't even pretend to be, mad and frustrated with life right now. It's pretty good right now.
Yeah, man, you did so much work last year. You did the fucking Carnage Cup. Now, the wrestling community is really like torn with the Carnage Cup. I know there's like a big divide. It's a very controversial thing. Some people say it's too much. Some people say it's like tasteless and shit. And then there are deathmatch fans that fucking love it. They're just like, "Yo, it's fucking something." What was your experience like doing that?
Uh, it was it was definitely a weekend, man. Like uh, to close out the first show, somebody lost a finger. So
Yeah,
to tell you, like to tell you, I was shocked. I was like, oh shit. I was like, man, I'm really at the Carnage Cup. But yeah, man, it was overall it was decent. I can't complain. There was some hiccups. There was some things that could have been done better. You know, but like I said, small details in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'll be back. I don't know if they invite me or whatever. I don't know if they enjoyed me or whatnot. And that's up in the air.
yeah, that was so that happened like right after I like got into like the deathmatch scene and shit. And I remember I was like following damn near every deathmatch page that I could get because I was just trying to find more and more and more. And yeah, I saw the finger spot and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't know what to make of it, man, at that
Yeah,
time.
same, same. Like I was like, oh shit, I think that man just lost a finger.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, that shit was definitely crazy. And then, like,
I was already, I was already 6 beers in when the main event happened.
yeah,
So, like you can imagine my shock. I'm like, oh shit, what's happening?
it's just fucking nuts, man. Out of like all of the odd like shows that you've done, because like I said, 22 promotions. Were there any promotions that really surprised you that you debuted at this last year?
As far as like surprises and like just reception wise, or you know that I got the opportunity to work with them.
Oh, I mean, just in general, like if were there any ones you didn't think would be like, because you mentally prep yourself before you go out, I'm sure, and you kind of have an
Yeah.
idea of what it's gonna be like when you go. Was there anything you went to do that like something unexpected happened that was awesome? You're like, oh shit, like I didn't know it was gonna be like this, or this is more lit than I expected,
Um. So, ICW, the first show I did for ICW in the pit, I I didn't know what to expect fully. I didn't know if like the fan base there knew who I was or were familiar with me. So to go out there and instantly feel love from them was it was insane, man. On top of that, the response I've gotten from the JCW crowd since I debuted there, which is also wild. Um, they fully embraced me, JCW, as well as I feel like it's carried over a little bit over to GCW as well. And I'll be I'll be lying if I said that uh, the no ring shows that I've done with Casanova, they've all been they've all been fire. The crowd reception there has just been insane.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no ring matches and the fucking pit is just crazy as fuck. I like the first time I saw the pit, it was you and Cruel. My boy Zach Monday put me on, and he was like,
Yeah,
"Check this dude out." He was like, "This guy is just running through competition right now. He will do everything it takes to get to the top." And that was my introduction. I saw the Gusset for the first fucking time, man, in my life.
ah,
And holy shit, I was like, it was funny because I was like, oh, I love all this shit. I asked Zach, I was like, well, what is too much, or what are things you don't like to see too much? And he was like, the syringes might be a little bit over the top. And I was like, I don't really mind the syringes. I used to see Steve-O stick them through his fucking face and shit, when I was a kid. So,
yeah.
it don't phase me that much. But then I saw the Gussets for the first time, man, and Jesus Christ, dude, what was your reaction the first time you started leaking from a gusset? Like what is you
Um,
what's going through your head?
I was like, damn, that's a lot of fucking blood. Like I was like, oh shit, man. I was like, damn, I didn't think it was gonna be this much blood coming out. And then I went, okay, all right, time to get over that, time to get back to action.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can only allow myself to be shocked for so much. Um, but I want to say the very first time, like that there was a gusset used. It was in a flop house match with it was myself in a 4-way with Satu Jin, Carver, and I believe Zodiac. And that was the first time. That was the first time I got color with a gusset, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is a lot of blood." It was not a death match.
Yeah.
It wasn't a death match.
It just came out.
Yeah, it found its way into the match. Put it that way.
Oh fuck.
Um, but the first time in a deathmatch setting, you know, you come in a deathmatch with a mindset of, okay, this is gonna happen. You know, like we talked about a little bit before we started recording here. It's like, man, I've been in fights a good majority of my life. Like I've been cut, I've been sliced up before. So like I have a mindset of like, okay, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting there to be blood. I can't be shocked by it. If you allow yourself to get frazzled by a little bit of blood, I don't know what to tell you. It's like maybe you need to take a second and reevaluate what you're doing.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That shit's off the hook too. Like you gotta be of a real calm mind when you're in there. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of like you meditate a little bit beforehand. You know, it's kind of like a warrior mindset. You know, you got to meditate a little bit beforehand. You go out there, and you get like this tunnel vision where things that people say, "Oh my God, that must hurt." I don't even feel it. Like it's not even I. It's not that I don't feel it. It's the fact that I can't let it deter me from my end goal. You know what I'm saying?
Do you get like a adrenaline dump in some matches?
Oh, most certainly, most certainly.
What point does
Like
it usually hit you? Like in during the match or when you're coming out? Because when you come out there, you're hyped up and shit too. I'm sure. Like,
so, the first it comes in waves because that first time I come out there, I can just feel the energy of the crowd and my adrenaline is pumping from that. I'm like, yeah, and like it kicks in like somewhere halfway through the match where like that I get that second boost of adrenaline. You know, like it's kind of like Nas. You know what I'm saying? When when you're racing, turn on the nitrous. Then
yeah.
you got the second. That second switch hits. That's when I'm like, all right, like now I'm really going.
Damn. Yeah, you get that extra burst in there. That. Fuck, man. Was there anybody like, and you know, is there anybody you were nervous like working with for the first time this last year?
Shit, man. Fucking Friday. With Alex, man. Alex was Alex like Alex is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers. Like, and I can't even say one of the best deathmatch wrestlers. Alex is one of the best wrestlers, like, on this planet. Hands down. He's good as shit. And to be in the ring with somebody of his caliber, right? I can't tell you that I wasn't shaking just a bit. I can't tell you that nerves went running through me because they fucking were,
Yeah.
right? On top of that, let me see, man, being in the ring with well, not ring necessarily, but being in being in the pit with Tank, you know, was nerve wracking a little bit because, man, Tank's a fucking legend, you know. NWA Wildside, he's like he was the fucking man, and he's man in Tennessee, you know. So being in the ring, being in a match with him was it was one of those moments where I just let it sink in.
That's fucking nuts, man. God damn, that's all I can really say to like fucking everything. Like it's fucking Hoodfoot. Like Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this GCW match like that you just did. I was watching the spots, man. And I noticed he was going for your legs with the fucking light tubes. A lot of people
Yeah.
tend to do that.
You know what? Alex really came in with a fucking game plan, man, and I can't fault him for it. You know, like if I can't walk, I can't move. If I can't move, I can't fight. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he really came in with a game plan to take out these legs, and like I said, man, I can't fault him for it. It's something I would do.
Was so like taking a tube to the legs, is it more painful than taking it to the forehead?
Uh,
Cause like
in
I
the
know
short,
like you pinch like the inside of your thigh, that shit hurts like fuck.
in the moment, man, in the moment, not really, man. You kind of like your adrenaline's pumping, so what I'm saying, you don't really feel the leg stuff. But after a while, after repeatedly getting cut and lacerations on your leg throughout the match, it starts wearing it down, and you really start feeling that.
Yeah.
You know, um, and it doesn't give you the so bleeding from the legs doesn't give you the same kind of visual like fight or flight that you would from bleeding from the head. Bleeding from the head, you got blood running down. Your body's like, yo, you're bleeding. you're in a fight. You need to tense up, right? Um, Bleeding from the legs, man, like you don't notice it as much because it's not there. It doesn't trigger that fight or flight in you, you know. So you kind of let things happen. You kind of let damage build up over time until it becomes a part, until it becomes like apparent that like, yo, you're really getting fucked up. Like, yo, your legs are really getting fucked up. You need to guard them, you know. And it's probably on me, man, because I like wearing trunks. You know, I have my friends, my girlfriend, you know, they like, will you please wear shorts? I was like, nah, I like wearing trunks. I like wearing full gear when I'm wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, it fits your image too, man. Like it's iconic almost at this point. You know what I mean? Like you
I don't
come
know
out
about
there.
that. Hope it will be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. Every time I see Hoodfoot, I'm like, oh, that's Hoodfoot. That's fucking Hoodfoot there for sure. Like,
I appreciate it. Yeah, man.
yeah. It trips me out, like, cause that match with Cruel, like, you know, you were leaking. That shit was crazy. You know, the finish was nuts. And then you're dancing on your way out of there, like keeping in high spirits like the whole fucking time, dude. Like that energy is crazy. You know, usually you see somebody like, you know, after they take a L in a match, they'll usually just be laying there hella fucked up, get assisted, walked out or some shit. Like you were like feeling yourself still, man. And I think
Never,
that's
never let them see you sweat, man. Never let them see you cry.
you know,
You gotta keep your chin up.
that's a shirt. That's what my boy Gio told me years ago, man. And it's something I always think about.
Exactly, man. Like, listen, do these defeats like getting beat hurt? Yeah, it fucking sucks. I can't stand it, man. And there's two people that I there's only one person is metaphorically, the other person is literally. The only two people that has ever beat me where it fucked me up. One is Adrian Broner, cat out of Detroit. I haven't been able to beat him yet, man, and it fucking it kills me. You know, I'll say it here. Like I'm man enough to admit it. It kills me. It kills me that I can't beat him. You know, and the other's Billy Dixon because Billy's Billy's a good. He's good at getting in your head, and I try to work myself around it and try to outsmart him, try to get him. But he's sly. He's crazy like a fox in a way, man. And but other than that, I try to keep my head up after every match. You know, walk out like a loser. Look, if you walk out and you think you're a loser and you keep your head down, people look at you like a loser. I keep my chin up.
Yeah. And you know, it's with deathmatch wrestling. I was talking to Joel Bateman about this the other week too. It's like with deathmatch wrestlers, it like almost like getting your hand raised at the end of it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're losing stock or anything. Like if you don't get your hand raised in deathmatch wrestling, like for fucking. I'll tell you, for example, that Alex Colon John Wayne Murdoch match that just happened.
Yeah,
After that shit happened, the next best believe the next thing I wanted to see was what John Wayne Murdoch was gonna do next in a ring. You know what I mean? First, I want to see
exactly.
if he's okay.
Yeah,
Second, I want to see him back in a motherfucker. When he announced he was like wrestling again that weekend, I was like, holy shit, this guy just died on TV though, and he's coming back. Like,
yeah. Murdoch's hard to kill, man. Murdoch is hard to fucking kill.
yeah, you see them having a rematch.
You know,
I see it.
I do see it down the road, man. Like there's unfinished business, you know. And Alex is a man, Murdoch's a man, and honestly, man, it's one of those things like if you got unfinished business, it's got to get handled.
Yeah, I think so too. Cause like there was so much build up to that that match almost didn't happen. I thought they had like there was a lot of what's it called? There was a lot of on the fence behind the scenes of getting that to even happen. Like, you know, I heard talks about they were just going to do it themselves, you know, without GCW, and it was going to be like self promoted. But then there was like all sorts of different like things, and then like Murdoch was talking about going to Japan and shit, and then it ended up coming together and it ended up happening and being like a shocking ass moment to open up the year, you know, for deathmatch wrestling and shit. Like,
Yeah, I'm not I'm not too positive on how everything came together. It's a little bit before my time for working with them, and like I wasn't too positive about it. I don't want to speak about a situation that, like, man, it's too much assuming in wrestling. So I'm not going to assume anything.
oh, absolutely. I feel that.
Yeah,
Leave that for Twitter, man, for the Twitter marks
exactly,
and shit.
exactly. Look,
Those
I
motherfuckers.
bet that 210 character warriors. You know what I'm saying? But man, what I can say is the match they did have was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that shit was nuts. I actually, that was one of those matches where I was watching it with the family and shit, and then about halfway, I think it was when I saw the wood with the gusset on it. I turned that shit off and I ran upstairs to watch it alone because I was like, yeah, this is about to get too crazy for the kids. Yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, that shit's fucking crazy. Like, so with speaking of Japan, you see yourself
Yeah,
going to Japan? Is that one of the goals?
that is one of my top goals in wrestling. Whether it be with Freedoms, Big Japan, or with All Japan, because like I know deathmatch wrestling is something that newer fans have seen me do, and they're like, oh yeah. And don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love to work with Freedoms and Big Japan, but I also can see myself working with Big Japan in a strong division. I can see myself working with All Japan. It's I'm a huge fan of Harizu. I like I tell people, like, I became a fan of WWE when I was like 11, right? I discovered All Japan, Noah, New Japan when I was like 14, and they made me fall in love with wrestling. You know, um, so I love that style. It influences me to this day. Everything that all my offense, all my all of my thought process when it comes to wrestling is geared towards Parizu and 2000s independent wrestling,
Damn,
because I'd be a liar if I said I didn't love Suicide. Like, if I didn't love Super Dragon.
man. Do you where? How did you start consuming indie wrestling? Like, did you start? What was your gateway to that?
Um, so I started consuming indie wrestling when I started watching TNA, and I would watch TNA, and I'll see like AJ Styles, Amazing Red, Chris Sabin, and basically I would just reverse engineer and go Google who they were and go see where they worked at, and then I'll go Google that company, because this is like about a year before we got YouTube. So I would go Google that company and try to find like any type of DVDs or anything like that, right? And then I'll write down the name of the DVD or the event, and I would go home, get on LimeWire, and download the show. Like, I would, like, yo. And then like with that, I found like Pro Wrestling Noah. I found All Japan, and I was like, oh man, what is this? And so I started just downloading all these like obscure Japanese wrestling tapes. And then about a few years later, YouTube popped up. And wrestling YouTube back in the day was totally different than like how it is now with bunch of people giving reviews and remarks about things they have no fucking clue about. Um, it was literally just tape traders, you know, posting up old All Japan videos. It was like Noah posting up like somebody finding and ripping the entire navigation tour. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Uh, there was wrestlers uploading, uploading matches that they had from the weekends prior, and then you also had like fans who would just make highlight videos for wrestlers. And man, wrestling YouTube might have been one of my favorite eras. Like the early 2000s of wrestling YouTube might have been one of my favorite eras because you had accounts like Suicidal Dragon who would like post up top tens of Japanese wrestlers, and like he also exposed me to the Southern California wrestling scene. So I found out about guys like Scott Lost, Scorpio Sky, Ronan, Brandon Gatson. I found out about those guys through Suicidal Dragon, and then I would go and try to find you know badges from them, and that's how I also found Pro Wrestling Gorilla.
And what was it that made you fall in love with it? Was it for me, indie wrestling is just like because I grew up watching WWE during the Attitude Era, and I
Yeah,
fell off with that shit. I want to say after WrestleMania 21, it was like after Cena was in there for a minute. Then
yeah.
I
I
just
know exactly what you're talking about because I think around that same time I was feeling the same way. WrestleMania 21 was that Cena Big Show?
I think it might have been it.
Yeah,
It was fuck. I don't even remember specifically what happened that year. I just remember that. I remember that was when I was pretty much like, all right, I'm over this. I think was that when they had I can't remember because I had a cousin that was still like dumbass into it, and he used to tell me like all the shit that was going on, kinda. And then like there was like the Eddie Guerrero fucking custody match and shit for Damien, like just like weird ass angles and shit like that. Like it was still kind of creative, but like you know, I just I
so
couldn't fuck with it anymore.
the
I
thing that
felt
started killing me with the Fed and everything, and the reason why. So I found out one of the reasons I liked like the Attitude Era wasn't because of the gimmicks, okay, whatever, but it was more of the in ring action. The storytelling through physical violence is what I loved, you know. Um, and towards the later part of the millennium, man, like I wasn't getting it. And, you see TNA pops up and you see these guys, they're out there really going, you know. There's not too much stick being put into a match, you know. You actually have a full-fledged match that's fleshed out, and they're able to tell this story through fucking physical means. And I'm like, man, this is what I've been waiting for. Right? Like this is what I'm looking for. And then also to go further with like all Japan King's Road style, where each time you're watching it, like you watch another match from the series that they have, right? You go, oh, so this is an ongoing story between these two individuals. That's just not it's just not a one-off match. It's a match that happens, and then the next match that happens between the two. Everything that you just watched from that first match they had comes into play some way, whether it be guy understands how to reverse something, he understands how to work around this guy's situation where he's seen this guy's trick before. So he's gonna outsmart him here, right? It all plays into the overall story of the match and like the story of the match and the overall story of the feud, you know. Um, and in independent wrestling, man, fucking is dope as fuck. like,
yeah.
like independent wrestling was like a good measure to two. You got like Ring of Honor, where it's like this, like this physical embodiment of the sport, right? But it also gave you room for characters, you know. And not a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, early Ring of Honor didn't have characters." Okay, then fucking tell me what the fuck Nigel McGuinness was doing with a fucking iron. Like, okay, you know, uh, tell me about fucking Homicide. How was Homicide not a character outside the world of Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't a it just wasn't like a poor imitation of strong style. It was his own. Like Ring of Honor was his own style during that time.
Yeah, the indies are fucking insane with storytelling. Have you heard of UGWA? Underground Wrestling Alliance?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, fantastic show. They're in San Jose. It was the first time I was ever exposed to like a live, show. And yeah, they do a mixture, like the I think like the co-main and main event will like have deathmatch elements, or they'll have like an all-out deathmatch and then like heavyweights going for the main event. Usually, Juicy Finau wrestles there a lot. Um,
Oh, word, hell yeah.
yeah, he usually is like, I think he's been in every main event there that I've been to, and it's crazy because the guy that puts it together, I asked him like how he puts the whole show together. His name's Slash. He Boss Man Slash. He was like, I write it like a comic book, and I micromanage that shit. And I was like, for real? I was like, how much freedom do you give them? And he's like, oh, I give all of my talent as much freedom as they want to have, with what they're doing. But there are specific things that he sets up, and it's really good, man. Like Dark Sheik's there right now. Dark Sheik's holding the title. I think it's the Oakland title. And
Okay. Is that the super weird dope ass looking title?
yeah, with the shark on it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I am somewhat familiar with the company.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I don't know how far you're booked out this year, but I know they're doing they do this one, like, I don't know if it's like a deathmatch tournament. I know they do a lot of death matches in this one. It's called A History of Violence, and I think they're doing their 6th one of it this year. So that should
Well,
be crazy, man. I don't
that's
know what his plans are
like
for it or how far along. It just like got lightweight announced on his Twitter the other week.
see that sounds like the type of dance I like to be in. All
Yeah, that
right.
that intro clip that I have of Guido throwing KP through the fucking light tubes and shit. That's from History of Violence. They get crazy with that shit. I guess they started like in a backyard, and they were a backyard company for hella years, and then they ended up getting like a really badass venue where they could do it out of, and then now they got an even bigger venue in San Francisco, which is a trip because I think like Hood Slam's the only other promotion that does San Francisco right now. So that shit's hella crazy. Would you ever do Hood Slam? Hoodfoot, Hood Slam?
So fun story about Hood Slam. Um, man, I was out there with Satu Jin, Randy West, and Schwartzy like years ago. And I was green as shit when I went. I did the pre-show for Hood Slam. I tagged with Satu Jin versus Nugs, and I can't remember his partner. And man, I loved it. The crowd was fucking fantastic. The locker room was dope as shit, man. Um, everybody fucking rocked, and it's just been always one of those things. Like, so we drove out there first time, and honestly, I don't know if I can do another 33-hour trip. I might have to fly next time,
Yeah,
but I
that's
would love to
crazy.
be back. I would love to be back. The hospitality that was shown to me when I first got out there was insane, and I have to say, like, I went out there with no promise of work at all. There was not even a hey, you know, you might get on. It was
Yeah.
like a hey, you're here type of deal. Work hard, and maybe we got a spot type of deal, you know. So
Damn.
for them to take a look at me after the ring is set up and everything, go like, you know what? Yeah, come on. I look forever grateful. Matter of fact, I just saw Sheik Friday in Detroit.
Oh yeah. How
Yeah,
how how do you like that event? Or what? Or I mean, other than what you were doing.
and that event was kick ass, man. From the venue being fucking dope as shit to the matches just hidden left and right. You know, it was insane, man. It was dope as shit. And I remember we were riding in, and I don't know why, but there looked like there was like 70, 18 wheelers, right, on each side of the highway riding into Detroit. And I look at my buddy, I go, "Hey, bro, you know why they all here, right? You know, Big Daddy Diesel's in town." Like, it was the weirdest shit. It was the weirdest shit in the world, man. Like, I kid you not. On the side of the highway, there had to be at least like 70 combined total fucking 18 wheelers on one side and the other side of the highway.
Fuck. Do you think the town had enough lot lizards that weekend for them?
Oh, brother, they were out there. You know what I'm saying? Money had to be made. Look, I'm not saying that. I ain't saying nothing, but look, a couple of paychecks weren't getting sent home to the wife and kids. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. How valid that. Whenever I'm on the road, my boy always points that shit out every time we're at truck stops and shit. He's like, oh man, he's like, I gotta be quick in here. There's hella lot lizards and shit. One time he went into the bathroom and he ran out that motherfucker. He came out and I was like, dude, that was a hella fast shit you just took. And he was like, nah. He said, I went down, I sat on the toilet, and I looked underneath, and I seen two pairs of boots facing the same direction. He said, I got right up and got out.
God
It's
damn
like,
it.
I wasn't comfortable taking a shit. I was like, hey, man, I would be either. Fuck.
Hey, gotta get it where you gotta get it, man. Sometimes,
Yeah. Hey, life on the road, man.
hey,
Fucking.
sometimes the bathroom, like you, like yo, this handicap stall's got enough space. You know,
uh,
hey, no, I'm a bit of a classier guy. Listen, I'm not 20. I'm not like 22 anymore, man. Look, out here fucking the bathrooms. That's a young man's game.
yeah. Or a dirty old man's game. Either way.
Or a dirty old man's game. Listen, if you're that old and you still fucking the bathrooms, brother, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There's, there's a lot of things that's going on in your life that you need to discuss. You might need to sit on the couch.
Fuck, man. So you've been you you spent a lot of time on the road then, like going to shows,
Yeah, yeah,
drive-ins.
man. I I fuck. Let me see here. I started traveling um, about 2018, uh, tail end of 2017, 2018, and then I slowed down a little bit because of I had some court fees I had to pay off in 2019, and towards the end of 2019, I picked it back up, and from 2020 on.
So like, you ever see any crazy shit on the road, like some aliens, or do you believe in aliens? You ever seen some shit like that?
Man, you know what? I If they're out there, look. Here's the thing about aliens, right? You gotta be a fool to believe that we're the only things out here, right? Like we can't be the only intelligent life forms, and you know what I'm saying, out here in this vast universe and galaxy, you know. But I haven't seen anything too crazy, you know. I've seen some homeless dudes fighting, you know. I've seen truck drivers get angry at gas attendants. You know, ran out of gas in the middle of the desert. You know, that was wild because it's nighttime. It had to be like maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We run out of gas in Arizona in the
Oh,
middle of the desert, and it's pitch black. And you're like, well, maybe we could walk to the gas station. I go, no, can do. So like, I was like, yo, you ain't never seen horror movies? I'm the first to go. This ain't happening to me. Like,
damn. How'd you get out of that one? Someone drove by or some shit?
triple
You
A,
guys.
triple A.
Oh,
So
AAA.
yeah,
Thank God for AAA.
thank God for triple A. But here's the thing, but also fuck triple A because we call them. They're like, oh, we can't get anybody out there till 7 o'clock. It's the fucking desert. It's it's bone chillingly cold. They're like, well, fuck, we gotta just wait it out, right? Guy rolls up. He's like, man, he's like, I only live like maybe 10 miles away. I could have been here. I could have been here sooner. They just had to call me.
That's
So
fucked
triple
up.
in the goddamn car for fucking goddamn hours. And here's the thing: we weren't far away from town. We maybe we maybe 6, 7 miles away when we ran out of gas.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, but bright side of that is, man, we ended up filling up at this gas station, and like right next to it was a casino, and rolled in, and they're like, "Hey, are you guys new to the casino? Sign up and get a free breakfast at the breakfast buffet." And I was like, "Don't mind if I do."
Damn, that's clutch. That shit hella came in.
Hey, that breakfast hit.
Fuck, man. I've had some bullshit ass breakfasts on the road, man. I've
Oh
eaten
man,
some nasty ass shit.
who you telling? Like, so Friday after the match, man. Um, we end up fucking going down the way. We stop at this gas station, right? And I was like, hey, I'm gonna get some food here. Fucking the Hardee's is closed inside. So I was like, fuck. I'm just get some food in this gas station, man. Go up, open up the drum, like, hey, where's you guys' hot dog buns? They're like, we're out of them. I go, out? They're like, yeah, we have no hot dog buns at all. And I have a choice at that point. Do I just pack up the ale, or I go ahead and eat these two glizzies raw dog?
Just eat it raw dog.
Bro, when I tell you I eat these goddamn glizzies raw dog,
Oh, man.
I got the little tray, put some spicy mustard in the tray, fucking dipped it and hit the road. Not my look. I was not my proudest moment, man. I was not satisfied. I was angry. I was
Yeah.
pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have grabbed like a fucking, I don't know. They had other shit there, right? Like, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you know those like Mexican sweet cakes? Like,
Oh yeah.
I would
Yeah.
just throw a dog in those. You know what I mean?
That's a wild option. That's a wild option. The sweet cake,
Yeah,
the,
man.
the hot dog in the sweet bread.
Yeah, it's like
I
putting it in
that one.
like a Hawaiian bun almost, just a little sweeter.
You know what? I might test that out. Hold on. That sounds like you might be on to something here. Hold on. I
Damn.
might have to I might have to try that out next time I'm on the road here this weekend. I'm gonna have to stop at a gas station. I'm like, guys, wait a minute. Hold on. 1 second. Gotta go get this Mexican sweetbread real quick. I'll be back.
Straight up, yo. That's fucking crazy, dude. Like on the road all the time, man. You ever heard? Do you believe in ghosts? You ever had a supernatural experience? You've been. I mean, you look like you're
So
on the verge of death sometimes, man. In these
yeah,
matches,
right?
so you gotta be has some supernatural experience.
Man, like it's one of those not hard core belief, man. It's you know, kinda sorta. After I watch a scary movie, maybe, um, I do believe that there's like that there's spirits, but I don't believe in like how like people go like, oh yeah, like they can just like pick you up and throw you across the room. I go, that's like not really how ghosts work. Like that might be a demon, but I don't know about ghosts. But then we gotta get into all the supernatural shit. You know what I'm saying? My name ain't fucking Dean Winchester. I don't know shit about boxing fucking demons.
Fucking yeah, I had Rex Sterling on here. He used to wrestle in like Ring of Honor and
Yeah,
NWA, and yeah, he fucking he was telling me that he used to have like a bunch of masks because he said when he started he used to wrestle under a mask, and they were all up on his wall. And one time he got in an argument like with his chick, and one of the masks just fucking flew off the wall like into the center of the room. Like that's some crazy shit.
that's actually what?
Yeah,
Hold
dude.
up. No
I
fucking. See,
I'd
I would
be
have been out.
out.
Would have been out the house. I would have
Yeah,
been out the house by that time. There's no way in hell you stopping me. I'm running.
straight up, dude. Like that's it's funny. Like I always because Cal Jack said too that he has a house or he lived in a house in Florida that was haunted, and I'd be like, fuck that immediately if some shit was haunted. First, I would suspect like a carbon monoxide leak or some shit,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
fucking with my head.
Yeah,
But
like
actually, I do have a ghost story. It's not mine. My buddy, his name's Brandon Barnes. Bro used to live out in what was it, Lancaster. Say he's originally from Cali. He used to live in Lancaster, and he had this house with his ex at the time. And he said that he'd be in the shower, and he like nobody there, and he would hear his wife calling him, or he hear like his sons playing, and he like, hey, and like nobody's there, right? Or like he'll be sitting down in the living room, and he'll hear like somebody running in the kitchen. I was like, bro, I was like, nah, man, I was like, not for me.
yeah,
I'm good on.
I would like that's fucked up, man. Imagine signing like a year lease on some shit, and
Oh,
then
yo,
you
I'd have broke that lease. I
yeah.
was like, I'm like, but this also brings up another like so. I know you can't necessarily fight like a ghost, right? Or like a demon. But like, what if you got like fucking brass knuckles and you dipped them in holy water? I guarantee you could piece the fuck up out of a demon with that.
Yeah, they call it shadow boxing for a reason. I mean, that's
I'm telling you.
probably
Look,
that's probably all you got to do. Just shadow box your way around the house where the most activity is. You fucking put that motherfucker to sleep.
no, what thing you gotta do though, you gotta plan ahead. You gotta get your can. So you gotta home alone the fuck out your crib. Right? So you put a little can above your door, right? A little paint can with white paint.
So
So
you,
that way
yeah.
that way it opens the door, spills on it, and you're like, yeah, I see you now, motherfucker. Let's go. And you start fucking it up.
That's good. Fuck, they gotta do that. They gotta do a movie like that. I seen you. So your tweets that reminds me of like one of the tweets you made, because you said how do you kill a giraffe or how do you, wait what did you say about a giraffe? You
Oh,
said
yo, like where do you choke a draft out at? The
yeah
bottom of the neck
ch-
or the top of the neck?
yeah it was I was right with that answer too I guessed but
So was it
I,
bottom of the top?
it's the top and you get them when they're drinking water.
It does make sense that they see. Here's the thing, though. You gotta really be sure you getting it if they're drinking water, because if they raise their neck up,
They're lifting you up too.
yeah, look, you better slide down like Fred Flintstone, or you're done.
Yeah, that shit's got to be locked in.
Also, so like related question to that, Like, how would you ride? How would you ride a draft if you wanted to like ride it like a horse, right? Where would you put the? Where would you put like the what do you call them? The straps where you hit them
Saddle.
with the saddle. Like the saddle's going on the back,
Yeah.
right? But where would you put the straps at? That the reins. Where would you put the reins at?
Like on the fucking
Like,
ears or some shit.
like yeah,
You got some long ass shit.
bro. I want to be that rich where I just ride around. Who fucking like, yeah, he just walks around with his draft. I come riding into town with a draft. Like, yo, what's up? It's good, yo.
I think like say in like 4 years, say WWE sells,
Yeah.
they sell everything, and then they actually get like a good creative going, and then they like work themselves back up to the top where they give people freedom and shit, and then they have like they hire you, and then they're just like, all right, whatever you want to do, and then you come into WrestleMania on a fucking giraffe.
On a fucking draft. Walking in WrestleMania where they like do like the sidecar area where they would do like Alberto Del Rio's car and shit or JBL's car, right? It'd be me with the draft. And I slide down the rest of the back like fucking Fred Flintstone. Fucking
Dude.
I'm pretty sure Peter's not gonna like this podcast. He's like, oh man, just talking about draft. I'm like, you're a liar if you don't think that's dope.
That's great television. I'll tell you that. Like,
Exactly.
I would watch that shit. I would pay $50 for that pay-per-view. You know?
Listen, all I'm saying is the next day, whoever missed it, there's a kid coming into school going like, yo, he wrote a draft in. And then all the other kids are like, we have to see this. They think that kid is lying. I just want to bring that feeling back. That's what I want to do. I want to bring that feeling back. Where like a kid comes into class and tells other kids like, yo, he wrote in a draft. And they be like, you're lying. That's what I want. That's the feeling I want. That's what I want to restore. The feeling of like kids coming in going like, I just seen the craziest shit happen. And everybody's like, you're a fucking liar. Prove it.
Dude, seriously, and as an entertainer, that's like that's the ultimate shit, man. Like, you have you had a moment like that with the crowd, like with or with like a kid in the crowd? You see those clips all the fucking time. You know what I'm talking about? Of like the kid reaching out and like, someone selling and like looking at the kid like, I need your energy, like give me that spirit bomb power type shit. Like, have you had that moment?
Kind of, where I was squirting blood. I was looking at the crowd. That's a squirting blood against Pondo. And like this kid going like, oh my god. And I was like, this is the most dope shit, and that kid's gonna be there.
I love it. Oh man.
Like the kid's like, it all started when I was 11. And saw a man squirt blood out of his forehead. Going.
Straight up. He's gonna challenge you one day and shit when he
Fucking goddamn Afro Samurai situation happening here. I'm like, I knew you'd come here. It's about time.
Yeah. Damn, man. You watch Baki?
Oh, I just got through the Chinese tournament arc.
Okay. I'm still I think I'm like 1.5 seasons in. I'm waiting to binge it, and then I want to read the manga too, because my cousin keeps telling me it's better. But like I chose the Yujiro background because you're like someone that they would put in Baki, I feel like.
Hey, that's the biggest compliment I've ever got in my fucking life, yo. Like, Baki's batshit insane. like I was explaining Baki to one of my coworkers, right? And I was like, we sitting out, like we're chilling before the show and whatnot. And I was like, dude, this man punched a man with a stub. He he punched this man with just the stub of his fucking wrist. He's like, what? I was like, bro, this show is the most batshit insane shit I've ever seen, in a good way. And he's like, yeah, I gotta watch this shit. So hopefully, bro's watching it.
Yeah. Oh, it's. I was tripping when I saw it the first time. Like, just I mean, in the first episode when you see Baki like in this classroom and shit,
Yeah,
just like, oh, like this motherfucker. What is he doing in high school, man? And then like all these fools are trying to fight him,
yeah.
like spec and
Here's the
shit.
crazy
Like,
part. Here's the crazy part. You never see him back in high school again. Like you never see him back in the classroom ever again after that episode. Uh, like man, the fucking Yakuza gangster. I can't remember his name.
Hanayama,
Yeah,
dude. Yes, that was my favorite when they do the punch where he doesn't breathe and shit.
yeah.
Oh my god, that fight was just bad as fuck too.
Oh
That was
fucking
like,
that in the fucking the tiger fight. The I forgot Tiger something his last name.
fuck, I can't remember either.
He's he's the dude with the fucking he punched the dude with the fucking stub of his wrist.
Yeah.
Had his fucking hand cut off.
Oh yeah, after he got the dude with the string and shit
Yeah.
that gets everybody.
And Buddy's like, he's like, I got you. He's like, I've been training my entire life to punch somebody with just blunt force.
Yeah, he's so happy. That's right. Yeah.
My hand. He just hits him with the fucking stub of his fucking I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that shit's great. I don't know how the fuck people think of that shit, man, but I love it. I can't
Yeah,
get
dude's
enough of
insane.
it.
There's another Baki series on Netflix now. I think it's just a continuation of Baki. It's called Baki Hama.
Oh yeah, I gotta get down. I gotta binge that shit. I'm off for a couple days, so I gotta fucking take advantage of that.
I feel that. I feel that, man. Hopefully here. Uh, let me see. I got a little time here next weekend. Well, next Friday. Uh, to kind of like sit down and binge some shit before I gotta go back on the road. So I think I might go tap into this Baki Hama.
How's your calendar look already for this year? You're announcing shit left and right, man.
Man, my calendar is getting full, man. It's filling up. It's looking nice. I'm having a few good problems. um, I can't complain. Like I said, man, I got some crazy stuff announced, yet to be announced, and we just gonna go from there. I got some irons in the fire, um, and let me see, probably up to May, up to
Damn,
May.
that's almost half the year already.
Look, blessings, man. Like I said, blessings.
So, are you going to be outdoing your number last year? Because that was a fucking feat, man. I think maybe there are a couple people that were up there with death matches last year. I know, like John Wayne Murdoch. I think he held the record last year for most death matches. But
So, um, man, I think I finished with maybe 69 or 70 matches total. Um, to be fair, a a good number of them were just straight up singles and tags. Um, this year, I want to make that a even split between the two, regular and death matches. You know, I'm trying to beat 70 this year. I got a couple of tournaments booked. I'm shooting for 5 tournaments this year.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Like I want it. I want it all.
Fuck, dude. That's crazy, man. The tournaments are nuts too. Like, how do you feel about tournaments? Like deathmatch tournaments, I feel like really test resolve in
Yeah,
deathmatch wrestlers. Like it really shows like you can withstand this and then cut the bloody promo and then go back in there for more. You know, maybe two more times. Like that's fucking crazy, man.
yeah,
I
man. So uh tournaments tournaments in general, man, I fucking love tournament season. You know. So you compile that with deathmatch wrestling, and it's like you said, to test your resolve. But man, I just think it's dope as shit. I'll be real with you. I just think deathmatch tournaments are fucking uh some of the best style tournament season settings. You know, I don't know what it is about the summer and deathmatch tournaments, but they go hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd never seen one live. I watch all of the stuff that's on IWTV right now, and I like I want to go experience that. I don't know how. I like, dude. I go to fucking like UGWA, and I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack when the event starts because it's so loud and shit's just hella crazy. And over here we've been locked down and shit for hella long, so it's like
Yeah.
we don't really get out much, and when I do go out, it's hella high energy. I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? So like, I can't
Like
imagine,
and shit.
dude. I thought so. Journey Fatu.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that dude gave me. He came out with so much energy. Fucking. He came out with so much energy against D Rogue and Kenny K. He came out with so much fucking energy. I thought I was gonna have a fucking heart attack at the last Ugwa. I was like, he came out yelling, "Fuck these motherfuckers!" Just like hella yelling and shit.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
went from like chill to the intro music to that, like and I was like right there on the side, so it was pretty close. And I was just like, holy shit, my heart just started going, dong 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 dong. It took me like a good
Sure.
3 matches to like get back to normal, and I'm just watching the shit. you know,
Hell yeah.
I
Hey,
love it.
that's like 0 to 60 right there.
Yeah, man, that's like that kind of energy and shit. Like when that gets brought out, that's like the most special thing, man. Like when you know being there is definitely different than watching it, and I can't like I've seen some badass death matches. I haven't seen the Gussets yet live, so I know that's probably gonna be a whole nother level of shit when I finally get out. I'm planning on getting out to one of these tournaments eventually, fucking just flying out to wherever the fuck I gotta go. Probably with Zach Monday if he's down. You
Yeah,
know.
man. I highly suggest if you haven't seen one, man, like see one in person. I believe Crimson Crown runs out west. I don't know if they're doing anything right now because of COVID restrictions or anything like that. But I know they ran Queen of the Death match last year,
Yeah.
so they should be doing another tournament this year. So, man, when I tell you, like, there's some good shit. Like watching it live and just experiencing that energy, you'll dig it.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I like fuck the first light tube spot that I saw was just holy shit. They it was this dude. Have you heard of Tony Vargas?
I heard of I heard of
Yeah.
I,
Oh, he's a savage, man. He's one of those dudes that is, he's been in the business for hella years. He's got like, he's done a whole bunch of like pure matches. And then as of late he's been doing a lot of death matches, whenever he has the opportunity. And fuck, dude, they did this one spot where he bounced off the ropes and hit Big Ugly. That's Titus Alexander's dad. Hit him with a fucking hit him with a spear into the tubes, like just a bundle of them. That fucking shit flew all over, like on our side. I guess the spot was supposed to go the other direction, but he swooped under him, and then it, dude, that shit was just crazy, man. To like witness that shit, like it's, yeah, it's definitely something else, man.
Like, man, it's when I tell you the energy from an independent wrestling crowd alone could just you could just bottle if you could bottle it and sell it, that'd be the most potent energy drink you can ever have, right? And to think about the energy from a deathmatch crowd, right? That shit, it would come with a warning on the label, like drink a quarter of this. It's all, you know, like
It's like a
it,
fucking like the red line version of that shit.
yeah, like Red Line or OG for Loco.
Oh
OG Red
God,
Loco.
I haven't
That's
had
what
that in so long.
bottled deathmatch energy, right? You bottled energy from a crowd from a deathmatch show, right? It would be OG recipe for Loco.
I think they still make it in like Mexico, don't they?
I don't know. It looks like I have to go to Tijuana
Yeah, they got it somewhere. Shit, you gonna be at Zona 23? Would you
now.
go there?
I would love to go.
Yeah, that place is crazy, man. I was like, I really just started like watching it because I talked to Phoenix Kid who goes down there, and I can't believe that. You know, like the spots that those motherfuckers are doing are crazy. Like they're jumping off the truck, going in
Fucking
into nowhere, like in between trucks.
yeah, yeah. They're taking no ring to fucking to another realm.
Yeah, that junkyard shit is fucking nuts. Like I'm just like, oh my god. Like you know, I guess Joel Bateman told me, he was talking to Alex Colon, and he was like, yeah, man, it's like it's crazy as fuck. Like anybody could get hurt on any of these spots, you know. But they're just really good. They're really seasoned with the shit that they're doing, and they have that comfortability, you know, and focus. So I think that takes puts a lot into it, you know, about keeping your opponent safe and all that type of shit. That's like dumbass important, especially when you're doing the type of shit you do, man. You ever like it, like, all right, so like Chris Jericho was talking about the Nick Gage match that he did, and he said he felt Nick Gage getting carried away with the energy with AEW. Have you ever experienced anything like that where you felt your partner like getting carried away, or you know, vice
No,
versa?
no, not really. Like it's always been a mutual. It's always been like a mutual. Like, oh man, we feeling this energy, right? Um, I've never felt at one point in time where I'm like, oh, bro, you need to calm down. You
Yeah,
know, it's always been like, okay, we're good.
yeah. You think Jericho's tripping?
Hey man, look, some people are built different, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Some people are built different. Nick
I know.
Gage, look, Nick Gage is built very different than other people, you know. And some people, look, there's Chevys and then there's Fords. Maybe Chris Jericho's a Ford. Who knows? I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah, I know, it's funny too, because like the only other person that said some shit, I've never heard anybody say that about Nick Gage. You know, like it's he gets too into it. Um, you know, like, but David Arquette did the same type of shit too. You know, got fucking like
Yeah,
spooked in there, and it's like, man, I oh god, I could like you said, it does take somebody very different to jump in with those kind of rules, you know, in a match, and you know, to be able to deliver on that. Like, that's who's the greenest person that you've met that is that's with the shit that is really good, Is there anybody like that surprised you? Because, like you said,
Uh,
you know,
in deathmatch wrestling or in wrestling general?
deathmatch wrestling.
Man, greenest person. Technically, I'm the greenest person in deathmatch. like, I'll be real with you. I've been lucky enough to work with individuals uh, far more talented than I am, far more seasoned than I am inside the ring. Um, and like I just been able to adapt and work with them. You know, I thank them for leading my hand as much as possible. Special shout out goes to Josh Crane. Josh Crane was my second death match and my first death match inside the ring. And so, and like when I say like first death match, like inside the ring, that's legit. Like I was coming in off just one death match prior.
Man, son, this road you're paving is, it's going fucking it's going very well. You've been doing, absolutely fantastic. You're definitely one of the main people to watch in deathmatch wrestling right now. Um, what is your long term goal with your wrestling career in 5 years, or what is it gonna take? I know it's like you're literally like you're hot right now, and you're just getting more. You're like fucking you're building up, man.
Yeah.
The steam, building up a lot of steam. Now, what are your goals you have to accomplish before you wrap it up? Like when you're ready to retire 10 years, 20 years down the line.
So, first and foremost, obviously, is I want to wrestle in Japan more than I want to fucking breathe. like, it's like that's my end goal as far as active wrestling and but my goal for wrestling itself is to leave this business better than how I found it. Um, it is to be able to build something that I can give back to. Um, because if I'm being fucking honest, and I don't want to take the energy and mood down, but if I'm being honest, man, without wrestling, I don't think I would have made it to 32. I don't think I would have made it to 25. You know, wrestling is just more than just like a nice little coping device for me. Wrestling and wanting to be a wrestler like saved me from going out and doing dumb shit. Like it really it really saved me in a way that, you know, a lot of times you hear people say, "Oh, wrestling saved my life." You know, I feel the same way because without wrestling, without having this outlet, um, whether it be just watching, and then further like wanting to do it and participating in it, it really kept me from kind of fucking up my life. It was always in the back of my head. Um, and then last thing, man, is like I want to make as much money as I possibly can to be able to afford a home in the suburbs, like a 2-car garage. You know, I want to be able to provide for my family and my kids. You know, things I didn't have growing up, where it was like, hey, you don't have to worry about moving. You know, we ain't got to worry about packing our shit up in the middle of the fucking night and going to go stay at grandma's. It's like, hey, you can relax. You don't have to worry about the lights getting cut off. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, I mean that's those are good goals, man. I think you're definitely capable of, accomplishing them. Definitely, like you keep at this level of energy, everything that you're doing, you're making right moves, you know, and as far as like growth goes, like you're going into like this is your 5th year in the business, right? That you're going into?
Yes.
Okay. So, would you say that this 4th year was a big learning experience as well about the business? And is there any like game that you learned this last year that you would like to share with any other like, any wrestlers that are probably watching this?
Um, man, it was 100% a growing year, and just like learning through trial and error. But the one piece of knowledge I like pass on to uh, anybody watching who wants advice, or they kind of like, man, I just need a little bit of motivation. It's, man, watch where you go and be observant of the locker room that you're in. It's too many times where we get caught in this cycle of being somewhere and getting comfortable. It's a bit of advice that my dad used to tell me, that like a lot of times when your parents tell you advice when you're younger, it don't fucking hit until you get up to age where your brain can really like process it, you know. But he used to always tell me, don't be don't be the smartest kid. Like don't be the smartest kid in the dumbest class. Be the dumbest kid in the smartest class. Simple as that.
You got to surround yourself with people you can learn from.
Exactly.
100%.
I'm never shy about being like, oh well, like I don't like feeling like I'm the most confident person in the room, because goddamn, if I'm the most confident person, holy fuck, we got problems. But like, no, it's in all seriousness. So it's like I always want to be better. You know, like I always feel like there's room for improvement, and that we can't stay stagnant. So I seek out, I may not ask, outright, but I'm always listening. I'm always watching, you know, I'm always taking notes, either physically or mentally, you know. I'm paying attention. And when I'm in these locker rooms of people that I want to work with, and people that I want to call colleagues, I keep a mental note of what's going on. I watch and I watch and listen and see how things move. You know, because you can't be rich paying attention to the dude in the slums. You might find a few gems, right? But you could definitely get rich by paying attention how the billionaire moves. And if you in the room with the billionaire, then maybe you should listen.
Yeah. Damn, dude. That's like what you ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki?
I I am familiar with it. I have sales background, and it was one of those required readings for leadership training.
Yeah, that's like one thing that stuck with me too out of that. It's like straight up you got to like, you look at people's habits that you want to form, and you do that, and like doing that in the business is a trip, man. Like cuz you got everybody's out. You know, everybody's out for themselves, but at the end of the day, everybody is also about. Well, you can't really say everybody's about the show, but the most successful people are the ones that have the show in their best interest. You know, the ones that are successful.
Yeah, because they understand that, like, yo, I might be out there by myself, but this is a team sport at the end of the day. You know, like, if I don't help promote the show and like people don't end up coming, you know, like maybe like 5 or 10 people don't end up coming, right? That affects the promoter, where if he has to make a decision on if he wants to run again that following month. You know what I'm saying? Like, if his door wasn't good, like, he's like, oh shit, damn, okay, well, shutting down shop, guys. See you later. Fucking closes the garage door. You're like, ah, fuck. You know, if like I don't share it, other people don't share it, and that person don't share it, then now you got like a full roster of people who are not sharing your flyer.
Yeah, it's got to be like that. Like you know, Doc Atrocity.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was saying like you got to learn it. You got to be useful in every aspect of the business in order to be like successful with it. You know,
yeah,
whether that means doing ring crew, you know, whatever you can do.
yeah. It's being it's hustling, man. It's understanding like, yo, I have to hustle to make sure, like, it's like working from ring crew to this to like sound, this, that, and other, right? And not necessarily everybody wants to be a fucking star, right? Let's get this out the way. Everybody want to be a star, right? But being able to do all the underground work, right? The shit that people don't see. That's more important to a lot of people than you going out there and trying to be a star, right? Because if we ain't got music, goddamn, where's the entrance gonna happen?
Yeah.
Right? If nobody wants to set the fucking ring up, where the fuck we gonna work at?
Yeah, it's like the shit that's expected. It always has to be there, and it doesn't just get there by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It be what it be, man. And I'm not gonna get on here and try to get on here and preach, you know, tell people, oh, set the ring up. If you don't want to set the ring up, if you don't want to go to shows as like a green kid, or like somebody who wants to just be able to work with a company and don't want to set the ring up. Hey, I ain't gonna fucking tell you not to. Do what the fuck you want to do, right? But at the end of the day, my dad used to tell me, you can do whatever you want to do, but you got to sit your decision. So if you don't want to put the extra work in, that's fine by me, right? I ain't gonna twist your arm, but you got to sit with your decision.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Man, you can tell I'm getting old now because I'm rehashing all the old head proverbs. I'm sounding like a dad or an uncle now. I don't like it.
I do the same shit.
I'm about to reckless advice. That's what I'm about to do. Man, I don't know, man. Get drunk, get fucked up. Who knows? Come on, dude. Let's fucking rage.
I feel that way when I talk to like my nephew and shit.
Bro,
Trying to tell him about school. I'm like,
I be telling him, like, look, hey man, listen. I know this shit seem cool right now, but I'm guaranteeing you, in like 5 years, you're gonna regret every bit of it. Like, you need to go ahead and focus on your classes. But then they ask like what my grades was, and I'm like, yeah, that's not here nor there. Why you bringing that up?
yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't the best student. Like, go do better than me.
Yeah, straight up. That's what I tell. I told my nephew one time, I was like, you don't want to be like me. Like, I'm like, look at me. I think we were like barbecuing or some shit. I was drinking a beer. And I was like, you don't want to be like me, man. Look at me. I'm sitting here drinking a beer, barbecuing on my day off. You know, I could be on a yacht.
On the yacht.
I wouldn't have to drink because I'd just be happy. That's.
Shit. God damn.
He was like, oh shit. He started doing his homework and shit.
Like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, man.
Look, you started over there doing word problems and shit.
Yeah. He's like, oh fuck, I'll show my work now. Like, fuck.
Hey, like, I feel that, man. I feel that to my soul. Look, my niece and nephews, man. Look, so my older sister, like her daughters, they superstars. All three of them are like Lisa Simpsons. One's in like cooking school. The other's I think she's like just finishing up college now, and the other one is like at Juilliard for dance. She like, so I'm like, look, I told my sister, I was like, yo, when you're done, look, when they done, let me know. So whichever one hits Rich first, I'm sleeping on y'all couch. Look, like she live out in Baltimore. I was like, yo, there's a bunch of shows out east. I could easily just chill. I could easily just crash.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, man. My boy got hella crypto, and and we're like, we always talk about what happens when that crypto takes off and shit. I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, man. Like, oh, he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna buy the whole block and shit. We'll buy a little cul-de-sac. I'll buy the whole cul-de-sac, and we'll all just live in that motherfucker. He was like, we got one boy. He never works and shit. My one boy's always in between jobs and shit. He's like, oh, he could crash on the couch. It's all good.
Hey, listen, that couch spot, it comes in clutch sometimes.
Oh, straight up,
Like,
man.
like that couch spot where you like, hey man, listen, I just need to crash on this couch. I'll be gone by the end of the week.
You know where the real love is at, though?
What?
The real love is on the floor. You know why? Because that means they're already letting somebody crash on the couch, and they're gonna let you crash on the floor with a blanket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've woke up to like my boys tucking me in and shit. like I'm
Yo.
like, oh, you're cold, man. He looks cold.
Like wake up, pass out on the floor. There's a cover over you and shit. You're like, hell yeah. These really my peoples.
Yeah.
They really fuck with me. Okay. I'm like, I should have been dead of hypothermia. Like, yo, ain't no floor better than the unfinished basement with the cold ass cement floor.
Oh, shit.
You just passed out. Fucking like motherfuckers throw a cover over you. He's just like, yeah, that's it. Like wake up, you're like, man, I think I got like a heart attack happening. No, it's just pneumonia, asshole.
Yeah, from fucking freezing.
He's freezing to death in a white beater. Hey, listen, man, I fucking did it all, bro. Look, I ain't seen it damn near all.
I seen a meme one time of this dude. It said like when you're at your friend's house and he don't give you a blanket, and the dude had like the flat screen on top of it.
Yo, ain't nothing worse than you trying to like lay on the couch and shit. You're like, bro, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you got your fucking hoodie covering your top half. Like, well, I'm gonna just keep my socks on.
Yeah.
Just keep it warm.
I think the worst is when it's a love seat. Cause like you can't lay on a fucking love seat, man, without fucking your back up.
Like you either fuck your back up or like you fuck up your legs because you got to
Yep.
bend your legs to get on it, or you do that weird fucking like where you lay on your back with like your head's laying on the fucking one armrest, and your legs are laying on the other armrest. And you're just like, all right, this is it. Like, you know what I can't stand? I can't fucking stand couches with like the really big ass backs, like with the big pillow backs, and it's like maybe like a foot a length of couch you can sit on. So you try to lay on that motherfucker, you just like it's not even comfortable. You got like maybe like you got like a foot of couch to lay on.
That fucking sucks. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I need to get some dope
I,
furniture. I like the best ones are the ones with the fucking feet that pop out. The ones that they're like lazy boys. You know what I mean?
that right there. You get the lazy boy connected to the sectional.
Yes.
Yep, I crashed at one of my homies' house up in like Michigan. He had the sectional right with the real deep couch. So like it's about the damn size of a like a queen size bed. You just lay your whole back on it,
Yep.
pass out, bro. You talk about relaxing. That was it. I was like, man, it must be dope being an actual adult that can afford shit.
I feel. Fuck,
You like
dude.
this type of man. I was like, man, this is the type of couch you gotta have credit for. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
you're like, this is a good credit couch.
Straight up. I know. I always thought it was funny when I was young because I used to always hear people like, oh yeah, I'm making payments on my couch. I was like, no one makes payments on a couch. And then I got
Yo,
older and I'm like, oh fuck, you got to make payments on that motherfucker.
like, yo, I'll be real with you. I never knew payments were made on couches. I was like, you just go to like a store that ain't got no sign. You walk in, it's like a dude, his wife, and like 2 or 3 kids in there. And like you're like, yeah, this one. And then you fucking get like you call your uncle, he come pick it up, and y'all fucking struggle half a day to put that bitch in the house. Like I've never seen payments on the couch.
Yep.
Unless you get like a rent a center. Like, that's it. Like I found out people made payments on couches. I was like, shit, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Dude, I met this chick one time. She said she had like 2,000 like owed on her bed. And I was like, damn. But then it makes sense. I mean, like, you sleep on the shit every night. Like, it would make sense to do that. Like, people fucking spend 20K on a car, like, every 5 fucking years, without even tripping. So,
Yeah, look, to each their own. Like I've seen people buy like the Tempur-Pedic beds with the full functionality of like the motorized like bed frame, all that shit. I go, hey, if that's what you want, I ain't gonna argue with you. But like a regular bed does me well.
yeah. I got, like, one of those, the ones that came out of a box. Those,
Uh,
like, the
yeah,
fucking, I got it from
like
Costco.
really,
Yeah, it was like $300. It was in a box, right? And it was just a heavy ass box. You open it up and the whole shit goes, and it just fucking it's a king size bed in a box.
yeah, yeah, man. Like fucking you rip that bed open, bro. That bitch just fold out, and then you got what is it like an hour or something like that
Yeah,
to
you
let
just
it up.
let it fill up and everything, and then it hurts the fuck out of your back when you lay on it for the first like month. Like fuck.
A word?
Yeah, it
Shit.
sucks, man, because it's hella firm at first, and you gotta like it attach. It's kind of like a Tempur-Pedic top almost, but like, uh,
Okay. All
yeah,
right, but so you gotta like work it in.
yeah. It was cool. I mean, it's I just like that it's a big ass bed. My lady, she's like, it's funny. I tell her like she's always thrashing at nighttime and shit because she like You know, she don't cuddle and none of that shit. She just fucking like you get close to her, she starts kicking. So I was like, thank God I'm not getting pushed off the bed anymore. You know, or getting pinned down. I got a dog. He sleeps with me in the bed too, so that motherfucker pins me down in awkward positions and shit because I won't move. Like if there's something like pushing me, I don't move. So that shit fucks me up too sometimes.
Yo, I've been there, man. Like you sharing bed with your girl, dog hops up, you're like, damn. Like now you got like just a sliver of a bed. You're like man, I might as well just go sleep on the fucking couch if I ain't got this much.
Yeah, straight up, dude. Like she used
Like
to
I went
like
over
she's laying there like a starfish and shit, like her arms out, legs out, and then the dog's fucking like horizontal and shit.
yeah, and you just like you just fucking curl it into like a fucking S.
Yeah.
And you're like that. Nah, worst part is like fucking when they're like, I like just get underneath me. Fucking you go with that big spoon in, fucking arm go to sleep. You're
Yep.
like try to get your arm from underneath, and for whatever reason, her head weighs like 70,000 pounds. You're like, man, I can't get my fucking arm out now. You're like, God damn. So now you just laying there contemplating on fucking chewing off your arm like you're like James Franco in that one movie. Fucking like, and then you're like, damn, I'm thirsty as fuck. I need some water. You're like, fucking try to get out of the fucking bed. You fucking take off the fucking
Can't
slap.
disturb shit.
It's fucking, listen, man. It's fucking horrible sometimes because you just want to be like, yo, I just want to just lay here now. But it's better than dating a chick that like has a need to fill her fucking bed up with pillows.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck
one of
that.
those shit. Like you walk in, there's like 17 pillows on the bed. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to lay here?
Yeah, that's a quick way to fuck the neck up, man. I thought I broke my neck the other week, crashing on my cousin's couch. I woke up like I was laying in an awkward position, like sideways on the couch with my neck like that, you know, like when you're on the shit, and
Yeah,
I passed out. I wake up at 2 in the morning, and it was hella funny. It was the night of the John Wayne Murdoch Cologne fight. I fucking watched that, passed out. All I'm dreaming about is John Wayne Murdoch getting fucked up, you know, because it's fresh in my head. All I see is just blood. It was weird, man. I get vivid ass dreams, but like then I wake up and I was like, oh shit, I'm in a weird ass position. I lay on my back and I just feel shock shooting down the back of my neck, and I was like, oh, did I just break my shit? Like, did I fuck my shit up, man? Like the way I was laying. Luckily, it only lasted a couple seconds and went away. But yeah, I thought I really fucked my shit up permanently. I was like, I hate that. It's kind of like when you're lifting some heavy shit. I don't know. You don't have back problems, huh? You're fucking, or you wrestling through them. Like,
hey, you just gotta see it through, my boy. Shit, look,
straight up, man.
there's days where I get up and I go, I don't know about this one, Chief.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to feel it out.
got to get up like a turtle and shit. That's how I am sometimes. Like, I gotta like
Yeah,
roll directly over to the side.
it's definitely a slow build. There's mornings where I get up and I go, all right, one leg, two leg. All right, let's go. Like there's days where I get up and I go, damn man, I wonder what it feel like not to have any fucking back pain.
I know, right? Like, fuck that.
Like
That's probably the best, the happiest people in the world and shit.
I want to go back in time just so I could wake up again without any back pain.
I wish
Go
I
back.
could go back in time and smack my younger self and be like, yo, don't do that shit. Don't lift that shit like that.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
I
Like
like,
what the? Don't do that shit.
I'm having a kid and I got like that. I'm gonna tell him like your back is the most important thing. I don't give a fuck how fast you want to get shit done. I don't give a fuck about you want to make one trip carrying the waters in. Like, don't do that shit to your back.
Oh, hold on now. Look, multiple trips ain't. I don't know about that. I sacrificed my back for multiple trips. Look, I'm like, look, hey, one trip, Charlie. That's it, baby.
Yeah, you got like fucking 10 bags on your arms and shit.
10 bags, case of water underneath one arm, bro. I'm like, I'm making it in this bitch. I'd be damn back out there.
Fucking A, man. Yeah, I'm guilty of that shit. So you know what I hate though? When you're like waiting for them to open the door and you got all this shit in your fingers and the circulation's getting cut off and shit. And then you gotta open and close your hand after.
Look, your fingers turning purple and shit. You're like, hurry up and open this motherfucking door. They're like, well, the worst is when they fucking just unlock it. They just unlock the door and you like, come on.
Yeah.
Now you gotta fucking find a way to open that bitch yourself.
All the fucking time, man. That's my struggle. Shit. I forgot to ask you, how much time do you have tonight? Are we going till 2 a.m.?
Hey, unfortunately, I can't do the 2 a.m. spot. I gotta get ready tomorrow. Travel day tomorrow, baby. Big show. It's gonna be ICW. No holds barred 22.
Damn.
It's gonna be a wild one. New York, New Jersey about to go up this weekend.
Is that gonna be on Fight?
It's gonna be on IWTV.
Oh, beautiful. Even better.
And then the next night after the Hall of Fame, well, no, not the Hall of Fame, the Hammerstein.
Yes.
I pronounce it that way to piss them off. New Yorkers, that is. The Hammerstein show is going to be Casanova Valentine's running a no-ring show with New Fear City. It's going to be afterwards, and that show should be up on IWTV maybe within that following week.
Yes. Yeah, plenty of wrestling to watch this weekend. It's crazy, man. I like now. I feel like Pandora's box was open once Zach Monday showed me all the shit that's going on right now. Because I'm like, there's always something going on. Like I always have some. Usually, like when there's off seasons or like there's no MMA, like I have nothing to watch, and I was like, what the fuck? There's too much wrestling to watch now. Now I gotta like watch the best shit.
That happens.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man. You're like, damn. There's so much wrestling right now. I'm gonna have to put a schedule out.
Yeah, dude. You're one of those wrestlers I can't miss though. Like you, Alex Colon, John Wayne Murdoch, pretty much anybody in the GCW, anybody that fucks with the ICW, a lot of IWA, H2O too. I watch H2O. I usually catch up on the shit, you know. Like literally the last thing on my list to watch right now is AEW. That's the funny thing, because before it was like I'd watch it a lot, and I felt like I was spending a lot of time watching it because they do like 2 or 3 shows a week sometimes, and yeah, I was like, you know what? Like once I saw the pit, was when I was just like, yo, like this is this is the shit right here. I'm cool with spending $15 on a pay-per-view, $20 for a weekend, on like some of the other stuff too. It's like, the $50 AEW was always painful for me for some reason.
It is like, look, this is not an officially branded podcast of AEW or WWE or any other big company, is it?
No, it's just Night Shift merch and Deathmatch Worldwide.
I bet I be bootlegging the fuck out of all them shits. Man, I'm broke, and if I could get my money, I would. But I be bootlegging the shit out of all the motherfuckers. I can't go into the detail of the means of how I do it. Just know I don't be paying for it.
Yeah, man. I feel that. And it's like it's funny with like other shit. Like I would never do that with like the shit that I'm getting on Fight for like GCW for example. Like if my boys are watching it, we're watching it all together, but we're watching it like in a chat talking to each other while we each bought it
Exactly. That's
cuz we want to
different.
support it. It's like going, but
Yeah, that's a different vibe because you know what I'm saying. Like, man, it ain't no $1 billion company, bro.
yeah.
At the end of the day, listen, if 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 my little bit of money is to make a break for them, then maybe they shouldn't be doing it, right? Well, like places like GCW, ICW, you know what I'm saying, and companies of the sort, they feed off this. You know what I'm saying? Like we feed off of that. You know, that's our lifeblood. You know what I'm saying? It's the income from these streaming things, from these streaming sources. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel no love when it comes towards, you know, $1 billion corporation that's been around longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
How the fuck like nothing against them? They'll probably bring this up like years down the line, but like I don't give a fuck. Fuck them.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. And especially it's a slap to the face when you're not delivering the best product that you can deliver with all that money, you know?
hey, to each their own, right? Like I ain't gonna say it's not the best product because somebody getting their rocks off to it, right?
Yeah.
I'm say I'm gonna just say straight up, it ain't something that I would pay my money for.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Yeah, I mean like the way I see whenever like a GCW like event happens or and you know what's funny actually too meant like bringing that up. I feel like there are a lot of promotions that should be selling pay-per-views, like that are on IWTV. Like I think they would do well and they I don't but the thing is I don't know the business deal with IWTV. I don't know how much those organizations are making. Maybe they are making more than if they were doing it. But there are a lot that I watch on IWTV that I would spend money on, you know, like if they were on Fight.
Yeah, I can see that. There is some definitely quality. It's definitely pay-per-view quality matches happening on pretty much, man. There's so many cards that I see that I get. That's high quality shit.
That what was that one that VXS uh it was like the
Oh
other week?
yeah,
That was
well
fucking
yeah. That is a you know what, violence and suffering. They always give off the vibe of like a late night. It's almost like something like if you was a kid, you watch it and you go, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this. You know,
yeah.
uh, it gives off that vibe of like late night fucking infomercial, like kind of like you're like, oh shit, this is a different type of infomercial. This ain't Billy Mays fucking with another fantastic product. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is the wild shit. You know,
This
like
the this the Enzyte.
yeah, like you have you ever seen a show called it's like Late Night with Dave Attell?
Yeah, I
Basically,
remember that. He used to just like
yeah,
do all sorts of shit.
yeah. He's just going around town, and it's kind of shot in the way where you watch it, you go, oh, whoa, am I supposed to be watching this as a 13-year-old? Am I supposed to be seeing this? That's
Yeah.
kind of the vibe that I get from Violence and Suffering. You know, it's also the same vibe I get from New Fear City when they do the no ring shows.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one of the New Fear City shows?
I haven't I gotta peep that this weekend.
Yeah, check them out on IWTV. The no ring shows that they shoot, the way they shoot it, it gives it a vibe that like, oh man, this is this is it feels counterculture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't feel it don't feel like something I would watch on primetime television. And I feel like that's what most of wrestling needs. It needs more counterculture shit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I feel like I was talking about it like before we went live, but like, a lot I feel like a lot of wrestling doesn't get the respect that it deserves because I don't know the reason why. I mean, there maybe it's people following other people's opinions and shit. Like I go on like Reddit Squared Circle, and you go on there, and they're pretty much just like talking about the big products that are out there right now. And then when they talk about like death matches, whenever the subject of death matches gets brought up, they like fucking people get disgusted in the comments and start talking all this shit. And I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, and I seen a little bit of it on Twitter too, and I know that you probably been exposed to a lot more than that, because the way everybody talks about wrestling Twitter, it's like, you know, it's a really cool place for some, and then it's a crazy fucking place too.
If we could be real, man, I don't fuck. like
Yeah,
yo, if you don't like it, suck my dick. I don't care. Like I've gotten to a term where I go, man, if I try to please everybody, I'm pleasing nobody, especially myself. Right? If I please myself, I know at the end of the day, I'm gonna be happy with what I do. Right? And if I'm happy with what I do, I feel like I also can translate to everybody else out there that can feel happy about what I do. Right?
yeah,
Um, if some people don't like deathmatch wrestling, man, hey, cool. Go watch some shit else. I don't give a fuck. You know? And as far as like wrestling Twitter goes, man, I limit my exposure to legitimate like wrestling Twitter. Like I get on Twitter, I say funny shit that I think is funny when I'm high. I'm like, that shit's hilarious. Let me go ahead and say that shit. And then I leave it at that. And I'll fucking repost my matches. And then I'm out. I don't get on there. I don't try to debate with nobody. I don't try to argue with no one. Right. If I saw a post earlier this week, dogging fucking was it I think it was Deathmatch Wrestling. Yeah, the dude was dogging Deathmatch Wrestling. I just told him to go fuck himself. Like, hey man, I'm gonna tell you go fuck yourself. That's it. I'm
yeah,
not about to sit here and I'm not about to try to educate a fucking horse on fucking thermodynamics. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh,
Go follow.
absolutely. I tried to last year, it's funny, like growing up, man, like I grew up super religious, right? That, well, not
Yeah.
like super religious, but like I grew up very like, you go to church, you do this, your whole purpose is to convert people to Christianity. That was like what my church was really big on when I was going as a kid. And I used to get in arguments all the fucking time at school for some shit that I didn't even like really understand, and some shit that I didn't, was I wasn't like I there were a lot of good aspects from what I was doing, but it wasn't coming from the right place. And like I feel like that having arguments, like having so many arguments like that with other people, I realized at one point, like, you can't convince somebody some shit that they're not gonna believe from the beginning, or you can't convince somebody to be
Oh,
into some shit that they already have made up in their mind that they're not going to be into it. And yeah, I really I try to avoid conflict on the internet as well, because I know nothing good can come from it. Nothing good can come from like encouraging people to do that kind of shit too, like even encouraging like my own fans. Like say if like someone comes at me and like other people are gonna like go at them, like I'm not gonna encourage that type of behavior too, because it's like, I don't want that type of toxicity. But it is what it is. Like people are people and shit. You know, like this one dude, Rex Sterling. He doesn't wrestle anymore. Actually, he's a streamer now, and
Okay.
yeah, he said it was just a matter of time before he started getting like death threats and shit. Like it was just a regular thing on his stream. He had to like people found his address, they found all this shit on him, and they were like posting it on the thing over and over again. And he was just like, "What the fuck? Like these people really got no life. Like this is the kind of shit they're gonna do. Like they're gonna be people like that no matter what." And then like,
Yeah, and you can't help it.
yeah, like there's always the trolls and shit, and it's like fuck them. So I totally feel you on that, man. Like you limiting your exposure to that kind of shit. I don't tweet a lot because of that, because I know I'm like, all right, well, anything I say is going to be traced back to the show, and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm expressing myself as a person, as, you know, the way I always want to be seen, as I don't
Yeah.
want people taking shit out of context. You know, sometimes I say a lot of dumb shit on this show. Like, don't get me wrong. People are going to take me out of context all the fucking time, probably. Like, in the future, they're going to look through the archives and, like, see me talk about my kid and all this, like, personal shit or whatever. But, like, you know,
I
yeah,
say it this way, and like I'm mindful of other people, but also I'm gonna state my opinion on shit. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say anything hateful, harmful, or fucking a foul, but also like I don't want to. I'm not about to go fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? That's literally at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, you can sit here and you can state your opinion on something, right? And if you want to combat me, which I got a lot of resistance for, 2020, summer of 2020, for the Black Lives Matter, and people were like, oh, like I don't like Black Lives Matter. Well, fuck you.
yeah.
like, like it's the end of the day. And man, if anybody listening that don't rock with them, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't know how to tell you. At the end of the day, like, I'm a black life. It matters. Doesn't invalidate who you are. Just means I also fucking matter.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can't get that, bro, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, I can't fucking teach a horse fucking arithmetic. So I refuse to. That's what I came down to. Like it got to a certain point where I was arguing with so many people about the situation. I kind of just fell into this bit of like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Like I can sit here and talk till I'm blue in the face, but if you don't care, it's never gonna change your mind, right?
Yeah,
Like
I feel that.
if you don't like Nickelback, and I'd be like, man, but Nickelback's amazing. It's the greatest band of all time. And you're like, I don't fucking like Nickelback. I could talk to you forever about it. And you're like, I don't want to hear about it.
Yep. I feel that, dude. I like, yeah, straight up. It's a trip how so many people get inflamed over shit too. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like you say some shit that, you know, you feel, and like then people get all butthurt and shit. Like I seen it's funny you mentioned that, because I was watching this video of some dude. It was like some meeting in Florida or whatever, and he was like going. It was like a city council meeting somewhere in Florida, and he was up there and he was like reading some shit. It was a concerned citizen, right? And he was like, so I looked at this dude so and so, some other politicians like email and shit. And then he was like, and I noticed at the end it had BLM in it. And he's like, and I don't know if he's from the Bureau of Land Marketing, or he said some dumb shit like that. But he said, but I think he does have an ulterior motive because he's associated possibly with Black Lives Matter. And then like the dude walks away, and then the fucking like councilman or whoever it was, the mayor, he like grabs the microphone. He was like, okay, so just addressing a couple things. The first thing is that the email that you were reading about actually was for like the school district, and it was the school district's email and shit. And it's like
Yeah.
people just get so like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like how the fuck is that shit gonna like inflame you? Like just seeing some shit like that, subtly like
Also,
that for that means
also,
you feel
being,
threatened by it.
also, if we being real, we if we really being fucking real, listen. If if you see the phrase Black Lives Matter or the acronym BLM and you get that fucking mad, I go, it's not the phrase, it's not the acronym, it's not even about what they do. It's literally if that gets you that angry, you might be racist. I'm gonna take a cue from Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a racist. Like this is like if someone goes Black Lives Matter and you lose your shit, you're like, they don't fucking matter. And my life matters too. You go, whoa. Like that's one of those things I've been noticing on Twitter, by the way. Is like comprehension skills are horrible, right? So like if you say Black Lives Matter and someone's like, well, our life matters too, you're not comprehending the sentence or the phrase properly. Like I didn't say only ones that matter. I said they matter. Like it is a singular object. It's not stating that this singular object matters more than other. You know, like but for some reason you feel to include that you matter as well. And I go, listen, y'all kind of colonized the world. We understand that y'all matter. Okay? Like that's not the issue. Like y'all pretty much colonized most of America. It's a lot of land that y'all fucking just stole. But we ain't even gonna talk about that one.
Yeah.
We not even gonna talk about that. We we just gonna graze over that point. Like yeah, I kind of get frustrated with like how people like interpret sentences nowadays, you know, or how like we treat fucking very obvious shit that should just be fucking public service, you know? Like, why are teachers getting paid so little? And when people bring it up, there's an argument about it. I go, yo, would you want to teach your kids? I know I wouldn't want to teach kids. If I had a son, look, I wouldn't want to teach that little motherfucker. I'm like, yo, go to school. Fuck
Yeah.
out of here. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I feel like teachers should be paid way more than what they are.
Yeah. People are self-serving, you know. That's
Yeah.
they just care about me, and then fucking, fuck everyone else. I'm gonna get what I can, and you know, no need. And it's a trip, man, because I used to talk to a lot of people. So during the election, I'm from California. I used to work for a place where I would speak to people throughout the U.S. It was a business that serviced the entire U.S. So I'd be on the phone all day with these people, and whenever they would hear that I'm from California, like usually people from the Midwest or like down south, they'd always have some like snide comment to make or some shit like, "Oh, you're over there in crazy California," or like, And I was like, you know what? What's funny is like growing up in California, like at least the bubble that I was in, like shit, there was never really any like there. I guess it's just so diverse over here. Like I never experienced like real racism or like real fucking hate, like real hate. As of course as I got older, I'd see that shit. You'd see it when you go to bars and shit like that. People acting crazy. But yeah, man, like I never really saw that type of shit, and I realized like fuck, this is where these people are coming from, and they're indoctrinated into that, and that's fucking crazy to me. Like just like I understand, like I'm in a bubble of where I was raised to think like everything's okay, like you like it's an afterthought. That type of shit is an afterthought, you
Yeah.
know. But like,
It's like, oh man, it's not that bad.
yeah. And then I go to Idaho and I seen some shit and I was like, oh fuck, this is terrible, man. Like, you
Brother,
know,
I did it. Like, man, bad part is about the Midwest, man. You have some spots in the Midwest that are decent. They're cool. They're chill. Like, and then like you travel outside of that city, and you're like, oh damn, we in the sticks. And you get a dude's like, I ain't never seen a brother here before. And you're like, all right, well, time to go.
yeah, fuck,
Back to car, leave. And then like the hardest part is having conversations with people. Like I knew who white people were. Like I knew what white people were before. Like I saw other white people. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to blow my mind talking to like white people from like these small towns, and they go, "I've never seen a black person before." You go, "What? I've never seen a black person before." You go, "How? How's that possible?" Like your parents never took a wrong turn. Y'all never went to Six Flags of Great America. God damn, shit. You know how how out of your way you got to go to never see a black person before. Like you're like, we're not going to the mall. We're gonna go to Tractor Supply. Like, fuck out of here, man. It's like I was like, that's some wild shit. You gotta be committed to racism at that point.
yeah, oh yeah. That's like they're totally indoctrinated, dude. At that fucking point where you're like, because you don't know shit else, and
Yeah,
you
like
other than what you've heard from other people, and then what you see, you know, online and on the news and shit, like the way they paint shit. You know what trips me out when people scream about Antifa, like,
yeah,
and then you get like people like Joe Rogan like clowning on Antifa. Look at these little weak guys, and I'm like, what? Like I don't understand why people are like so offended by shit.
also like do they know what that means?
Yeah,
Like
that's the other thing. It's like that's what they want, you know. Well, I mean, that's I don't know. I think it's
we
a
we hit a hit a we hit a fucking snag. We should have known we hit a fucking snag when Joe Rogan became like the voice of the generation. We probably should have fucking went back. Like to this day, I'm convinced. Like yo, when they killed Harambe, like it set us on a divergent course. It took us to the bad timeline. Like we have to go back in time and save that fucking gorilla. Because if we don't, it's just gonna keep getting worse. Like the fact that Joe Rogan, like like there are people who go to Joe Rogan for fucking advice on medicine.
yeah, yeah,
They go to some dude who fucking announces for fucking the UFC. They go. That's like going to John Madden, rest his soul, for fucking like cardiac advice. You're like
it's like
you're like, yo, fucking John Madden. Like, can you tell me if I got like a fucking like if I need a tracheotomy or some shit? And John Madden's like, yeah, I'll open you up. The
boom.
fuck? Boom, boom, right there. You see that? He starts drawing on the fucking X-ray. That's where your heart valve should have closed, but it's not closing. What we're gonna do? We're gonna come in, boom, close it right there, stitch it up, bang. While we also in there, we noticed that you got a little blockage here. We cleared that out, boom. Now you're good. You should be working all cylinders. Rest in peace, John. That was for you, baby. Like, bro, Like I don't understand it. It blows my mind. It really fucking throws me for a loop when people are like, yeah, Joe Rogan said the fucking announcer for the UFC, he's giving you medical advice, but you don't believe the head of the CDC.
Yeah.
The fuck?
You know, it's fucked up. Like I used to love the Joe Rogan podcast, man. Like I used to watch that shit a lot. You know, years ago, like back when he had like Joey Diaz and shit. It was like a comedy kind of thing,
Yeah,
and then he would have like some cool guests on, and then what really clicked when I realized, like, because this dude told me back in like 2017, this guy that I worked with, he was a kind of strange dude, but he told me Joe Rogan's an agent, and I said, "Oh, you like Joe Rogan?" He said, "Yeah, Joe Rogan's an agent." I said, "What the fuck does that mean?" And he said, "He's there for other purposes other than just doing a show." And I was like, I don't believe that. Like he's a genuine guy, you know? He seems like just a fucking pothead, MMA fan. So comedian, you know? So I was watching during the beginning of the pandemic cuz he started doing, the episodes and shit. And he seemed kind of scared of COVID in the very beginning. And then he had Elon Musk on the show.
yeah,
And when he had Elon Musk on the show, Elon Musk was like, "This ain't shit. I don't want to shut shit down." And we were in lockdown, like we had everything shut down, and Elon Musk was basically saying like, "I'm keeping everything open," and I'm just like, this capitalist piece of shit, you know. And then
yeah.
Joe Rogan agreed with him, and I was like, oh, because you're kissing this dude's ass, like that's what it
Yep.
comes down to, like. So that's what you are. You're just a fucking parrot for, these people with hella bread that you want to be like them and shit, you know.
End
And
of the day, and
yeah, he
like
exposed himself.
you know, thing is, man, like also I see like motherfuckers like Elon Musk, and they're like, "Oh, he's such a genius." I go, like, not really, man. Like, he just knows how to get people in certain places to do the work, right? It's like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was really good at placing people. Like Steve Jobs might have been one of the best salesmen people, one of the salespeople I've ever seen, because he was able to sell people on jobs that they could have just did themselves. They could have started their own fucking tech company, right? And then on top of that, he's able to sell people this idea of a product, right? He's able to sell people the idea of a company, the idea of a CEO. Because Steve Jobs, at the end of the day, the person you saw doing the speaking was also part of the product. And like, there's so many facets to like what he was doing. How he break it. And did he do it all intentionally? I'm not too sure. Like I don't know if he sat down and said, "I'm gonna make myself the image of Apple," right? But bro, that motherfucker was really like, you couldn't think of like Apple without thinking of that black turtleneck.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely like the thing. Same way Elon Musk is with Tesla.
Yeah,
Tesla, you just picture that motherfucker.
exactly. Like, yo, these motherfuckers really like, yo, we should really be worried if they start moving to like third world countries, because then they just gonna become dictators. That's the next logical step. like, like if Elon Musk just moved to like the middle of fucking like some fucking Indo Asia island, I'm like, yo, it's done. The motherfucker's a dictator now. He's definitely taking it over.
Did you ever see that movie? I think it was called Gringo with it's a documentary about that one guy. Fuck, what's his name? Uh McAfee, John McAfee?
Oh, John McAfee.
Yeah,
Oh shit,
saw
bro.
that
That
shit
man
he did?
such a weird motherfucker, bro. John McAfee's such a weird fucking dude, but like at the same time, respect.
Yep. Right.
Man, the man was really wilding.
Hey,
Man was really
the hammock
fucking,
was off the hook.
bro, just wilding, just wild. And like, yo, he went out on his own terms. He's like, yo, I'm gonna do fucking coke and fuck strippers, shoot guns until I die. And everybody's like, John, I don't think that's a good idea. He's like, fuck you. Also, I'm a scam until I can't scam no more. Bro, like, what did he get? He got in trouble. He got in trouble in America for scamming. Then he moved to, I think it was Peru or some shit, and lived down there for a minute and got involved with like a bunch of illegal shit and fucking got him like, and then he had to move again. I was like, yo, John McAfee is a fucking, like, that man's a fucking legend. Rest in peace.
I know. I used to get annoyed when his shit would be on my computer because I was like, damn, I can't say nothing bad about John McAfee because he could be listening. He
Yeah,
probably got
he's
some
like,
shit programmed. Catch me talking shit.
show up with a whole fucking army.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. He had the militia of like people he
Bro,
hired.
bro, the man had a fucking militia. John McAfee might be one of the loudest
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That guy is fucking something else. I don't think he did it though. I don't know. I don't think he did it. I think he fucking I think somebody got him. Especially cuz didn't he tweet about that shit like a year before? He said I'm getting a tattoo that says I will never commit suicide.
something. Man, I don't know. It's like, bro, what? Like, he didn't have. He might have had government secrets. I don't know, man. Like, shit, man, there's so many fucking different things out here.
Yeah, you never
Like,
know.
like, I want to say he didn't do it, but at the same time, cocaine's a hell of a drug,
Yeah, hey man, the hammock was, you know, if
man.
he did the hammock shit, then I'd believe some crazier shit.
Just about anything. Like, concerning him, I believe just about anything. Motherfuckers can be like, yeah, he shit on fucking Nikola Tesla's grave. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Motherfuckers be like, he didn't die. He went to fucking Andromeda 6.
Yeah.
I go, you know what? It's doable.
Nah, he's in fucking Cuba with Tupac. You know, I look that shit up every year to see if Tupac's
What?
alive.
Man,
Like, was there a sighting yet? Like, I always get a little hope. I get a little hope, like every year.
he's just outside of the villa. Someone takes a picture of it.
I'm just
Boy,
waiting
yo,
for him to be like, I'm back.
bro, did you see Matrix, yo? You see the new Matrix?
Not yet. I watched the first half of it.
All
Like
right.
right when he unplugs again is when that's where I stopped. I still gotta finish it.
So did you get to the point where like they explain why nobody could recognize Neo?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
they like had him look different in every universe, right, or some shit.
Yeah. So what if, bro, that Tupac has been alive this whole time, but he just doesn't look like Tupac to us?
Damn.
Boom, right there. Go ahead, take that one with you for the road. Go ahead, spread that around. Let them know. Like, blow some minds with that next time you see some people.
That'd be hella lit, man. I'd be happy. I'd be happy just knowing Tupac's alive still. Uh,
Honestly, yeah. I'm like, man, look, it's good seeing you out here. It's good seeing you out here, Pac. I'm gonna need another album out of you, though. I'm gonna need another. I need some dope shit out of you. All
I
right,
th-
so,
he had the brains to do it, man. I mean, either that or it was insanely what's it called? Like just an insane coincidence.
that him and Biggie died within what was that? less than like about a week apart.
It was back to back, and then the 7 Day Theory released and shit, like where it literally, like all signs point to him being alive. Like, talking about you heard they killed me, but they didn't, and shit.
Bro, like shit.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. I believe.
Oh, you know what? You need to ask Joe Rogan.
Oh fuck, Joe Rogan will tell me fucking I don't know that he's Antifa or some shit. I don't fucking know. Joe
He's
Rogan.
like, he's like, Julie, look that up for me.
Yeah. Can you Google that? No, they didn't he get he got outed. Joe Rogan got outed the other day by like an actual doctor about Omicron results or some shit, and he said,
Dude's like, he's like, no, it's right. He's like, can you look that up? And the Google's like, yeah, it's right. You confirmed everything the doctor said. He's like, you sure? I don't think so. No, we talking about young kids. You know, you're talking about young kids. He's like, no, we were talking about like fucking teenagers, like 12 to fucking 17. And just like, fuck. I don't know. I heard some of that stuff's wrong. So I was like, bro, what the fuck? Just take your L. Just eat your L and go.
yeah, I think he's gonna be self-destructive or some shit. Like it's not gonna last too much longer, or he's just gonna be the next Alex Jones, man. And he's gonna be going on forever with some out-of-pocket ass shit. But all I know is that it doesn't look good. It's definitely getting worse. Like
It's definitely getting worse, bro. He's definitely coming off like a jackass.
yeah, he did some shit I guess where he got hella drunk and he went to this comedy show with some other dude like the other week, and they're sharing the videos. They're like, Joe Rogan gets drunk and ruins Texas comedy show, and he's just in there grabbing the microphone from him and shit. Someone said something about Super Smash Brothers, and then he grabbed the microphone. He was like, didn't realize I'm surrounded by fucking nerds. Like he just started being like a straight jock, like talking shit on everyone.
That's low key funny. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And grab your fucking nerds.
Fuck, man. But yeah, it's hella funny though, because every time I message someone about this show. I didn't say it when I messaged it to you, because you saw my message from a long time ago. But yeah, usually what I say is like, oh, the show's kind of like Joe Rogan, except like, I'm not a bigot. It's like people are like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm not like a bigot. Bro, I'm telling you, man, it's fucking rough. It's rough, man. Like people that you thought were cool, you're like, oh man, that sucks. That guy's a fucking racist now.
Yeah, coming out the woodwork and shit.
Yeah, like so I told people like, yo, if like motherfucker like I can't put if people that we looked up to could turn out to be just the worst people, bro, what hope is it for these current people? You know what I'm saying? Like people like Joe Rogan, like there's a generation of kids who don't fucking know that Joe Rogan was like a bigot. Like they're just like, oh yeah, no, Joe Rogan's cool, right? They just know him from. They probably don't watch the podcast or whatever because he probably doesn't. They know him from television because he calls it MMA, and then they're gonna find out later. It's gonna really shock them. Like it's like how everybody was like, how are you guys so shocked about Ric Flair now? Look, it's like, yo, we were like 13.
Yeah.
We were like 13 when we found out about him being a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, man. I mean, you
Like,
could just tell by watching his gimmick and how he carries himself. He does some
yeah,
funny shit.
yeah. But like, man, I don't need like wild shit to come out about Dusty, bro. that'll fucking break me.
Yeah, he seems pretty
Like,
genuine.
they're like, yeah, Dusty was just in the back, just slapping women and calling black people N word. I'm like,
Oh,
ah. I don't know if I can take that, man. Like,
I I was pissed off about Kane, man. I was very
that
disappointed in him.
thought he was smarter than that, but hell, he might be. Who knows?
I seen some shit that said professional mask wearer doesn't want to wear masks.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then who else? Val Venus. I was like, okay, I could see that coming. Uh,
So here's the thing about Val Venus, man. For like the longest time, Val Venus is just like, hey man, just legalize marijuana. Legalize marijuana. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Val Venus. And then marijuana got legalized. He's like, all right, after ends. Whoa, what? You like Black Lives Matter? I'm like, bro, fucking Val, calm down. What
yeah.
happened to marijuana, bro?
Yeah.
Like, how did they legalize marijuana? Your next step is fucking bigotry.
You know why? It's because he was selling it, but he wasn't smoking it. Because if he smoked, he'd probably realize that's wrong. you know?
Yeah, yeah, like bro, like I really thought, like man, like Val Venus would be a cool, like he'd be a fucking cool session person. Like throw him in a cipher. Now I'm like, he's the last person I wanted to fucking say. I'm like, nah, bro, we're full.
Yeah.
But
Disco
circle,
Inferno.
yeah, I always do.
Oh, you did? You always do that.
He never struck me. He never struck me as somebody cool. He, I saw him at fucking saw him bouncing in Vegas once at a strip club called Sapphire.
Yeah, I've been
But
there. I was just there the other month.
fuck yeah. Also, it could be wrong because I was fucking annihilated, but I could have sworn I was Disco Inferno. I was like, Disco Inferno? He looked me dead in the face and turned and walked away. And I was like, oh shit. And like, so it could be one of two things. He knew that I knew who he was and he walked away, or it was not Disco Inferno.
yeah.
Maybe like maybe he has a simpler story. He'd be like, yeah, some black dude like just looked me dead in the face, called me Disco Inferno. I had to walk away from him. Who knows?
yeah, maybe he thought, maybe he thought you were like, if it wasn't Disco Inferno, the dude thought you were like hitting on him or some shit.
Yeah,
Like maybe he has
like
no idea who Disco Inferno is.
like, like what the fuck's a Disco Inferno, buddy? What
yeah,
the fuck you
I don't want a Disco Inferno.
talking with some shit?
You're trying to dance with me or some shit. Oh fuck.
Buddy, this is a strip club.
yeah.
Like this is a strip club, bud. But yeah, like I swear to God, I was like, I looked this man dead in the face and said, "That's Disco Inferno right there." Like I'm like, yeah, man. But also, I was gone.
Yeah.
This was like what 20, like either 2014 and 2015, one of the two.
Yeah, that was a while back. It makes. I think he's out there. That's his stomping grounds. You know.
Yeah, I think he lives out there. So
Yeah, fucking. You know where I went in 2019? I went to the Godfather strip club.
what is that? Cheetahs?
Yeah,
Yeah, how was that?
it was no good.
See, your no good is my fucking heaven.
No,
I, I
no, no,
love
no,
I
no,
love
no, no.
strip clubs. Cheetah strip club is my shit.
No, it was like not. I thought we were about to get like, I like, and you know, and I'm not talking shit. I love the Godfather, like, you know, but the thing is, it's like we went. It was the only place that was open at 11 a.m. and we went in there, and you know the all the. I'm not against going to the strip club. like that early. I went to Spearmint Rhino the night before, and I had been to Sapphire prior. And I don't, to be honest, Sapphire is cool, but it's for me, it's like I don't know, not too pricey. I mean, you go to Vegas to spend money, but like we went to Sapphire, so VIP at Sapphire is like 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to Spearmint Rhino, you could get, and that's for like 20 to 30 minutes, I think. When you go to Spearmint Rhino, it's like $200 for like as long as the stripper's trying to kick it with you. And
Mm.
you could be in there for like an hour just chilling, talking shit, you know, hanging out. And like, yeah, it was a total, like, that was the best experience I had out there. So we thought it was going to be like that because our friend said, yeah, go to Cheetah's, Godfather, you know, owns it and shit. So we go there, we get the limo service. This like big van pulls up with this big ass dude in the car, and we jump in. And I'm trying to talk to this guy. I said, "Hey, so how are the ladies this time of day?" And he like didn't want to talk to me. And I was like, "Am I being kidnapped right now?" I was like, "Fuck, this customer service is kind of like rough." And we get dropped off at the spot. They said it was free entry. It's free entry with purchase of 2 drinks. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna spend. We're still spending entry basically. And then we
Yeah.
get in there, and there were about like 4 girls there. It was like, eh. And they they said it was like $350 for the VIP for like, you know, 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, the price range is in between Sapphire and the other place. But yeah, one of the chicks started dancing on my boy, and he's getting a dance, and I went with my lady. You know, so when I go with my lady, I don't really get that many dances. I'm buying dances for us. I'm buying dances for her and shit. So
Yeah.
like, my boy's getting a dance, and then halfway through the song, the chick steps up, like gets up, and is like, you know, he tells her to like go away, and I was like, what'd you do? Like, you just paid her, and he tipped her too. And he said, bro, she smelled hella bad. Like, she just smelled like straight bo. Like, she hasn't showered, no perfume or nothing. I was like, oh, that sucks, man. Like, usually they have that like in the bathrooms for the women, you know, so they like freshen up or whatever when they're
Yeah.
going out. And yeah, it was just kind of nasty. And then yeah, my one boy like actually started like talking to one of the chicks or whatever, but he told me, he was like, yeah, man, it was gross. She was like sweaty and shit, and I was like, ah, it's not like, it wasn't hot in there, it was hella AC'd out. So I was like, man, this is kind of gross. Like, we sat there for an hour, and then no one was dancing on the pole. Everyone was, the chicks were all just sitting like on the other side. And then no one was really walking up to us. I mean, we had dough we were trying to spend and shit. It just wasn't that great of an experience. And like, it's hard for me to not like a strip club. You know, I mean, I know what to expect, you know. And
Hey, listen, I'm a huge fan of like shithole strip clubs. Like if I walk in and there's no DJ and all the girls are dancing off the jukebox, I'm like, yeah, this is my joint. Yeah. Like how much for a dance? It's like 25 bucks. $5 goes to the jukebox. I'm like, hell yeah,
that's
sign me
cool.
up. Like that's my shit. Like there's a place out here called Patty's. And like that's it. Oh my god. It's Patty's and this place is closed now. But it used to be a place called Lenny's. My God, Lenny's was such a shithole. It was amazing though. It was fucking the shits. I loved it.
Man, that's fucking great. I love that kind of shit, man. Like,
Bro, look,
the
I'm
little
I'm
go
I'm
tos.
bullshit you. Like we could go to a nice fancy strip club. Like we could go like dancers or some shit at PTs. You know what I'm saying? Or Brad's Flamingo out here. We got a nice strip club. You know what I'm saying? The girls are nice. At fucking places fucking nice. It's got nice lit. They got DJs and shit. And like that's cool. But give me a hole in the wall. You know, give me one where like the drinks are super fucking stiff. Like there's like it's like an old guy behind the bar, just pouring drinks. He's not really counting it. He's just like, here you go.
Yeah.
You know, like, here's your shot. You're like, God damn. Like this is a fucking pint cup. What are you doing? Like, Like he ain't measuring out the shots. He's just like eyeballing it. You're like, all right, here you go. Like goddamn the girls just going up to the jukebox, playing whatever tracks next. I'm like, this is my fucking place. This is where that's where I thrive.
Yeah, that's fucking lit. That's in Chicago?
Indy. So I live in Indy now.
Okay.
So I'm based out of Indianapolis now. In Chicago, there's places like Arnie's, Club 390. It's fucking what is it? Jimmy's. I don't know if Jimmy's is open still, but Jimmy's it was a good spot in Chicago Heights. Let me see, it's another spot. I think the factory's closed, but the factory was like BYOB full of nudity.
Damn.
Yeah, that place used to get fucking wild, bro.
That's crazy.
Wild as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they got those. They got those out here, but they're like no liquor.
Yeah, it's like the factory was BYOB because they had no bar, so you come in with like a fucking bag of your bottles, right? And then you go up there and you get like cranberry juice, and you just pour your shit in. But they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what my cousin used to do.
Yeah.
He said, you bring in the 151. He said he went there because he used to go straight after work to one in San Francisco. And he brought my one cousin, rest in peace, Danny. He used to just get crazy at these strip clubs when they go. He said they went in there one time and like Danny, they had like orange juice, that they were pouring with the 151. And Danny spills his shit all over the dance where the pole was and shit, the dance area. And like that fool Danny was like just on a sick one this night. He grabbed the tape measure off my cousin's shit because my cousin worked in construction. He grabbed the tape measure off of his hip and he put like a $1 bill on the end of the tape measure.
Jesus.
and fed that shit up to the stripper and was like poking her with it.
That's good shit. Yeah. Hey, see, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's a funny asshole move. Hey, take the $1.
Yeah, I don't know if he got arrested, but they got in a fucking. You ever seen that movie Blood In Blood Out?
With Michael J. White.
No, it's a movie with Damian Chapa in it, and he's on the streets and he's in this gang called Vatos Locos, and he gets locked up. Yeah, and that fool gets in. That dude corners him. He's like, "Here's a box of cigarettes. Here's all this shit," and then he corners him in the room, and he's like, "Give me some." Fucking. So after they left the strip club, fucking. I think Danny tried to steal this might have been 2 different nights mixed up in one, but Danny tried to steal a fucking garbage truck, but he was too drunk, so he jumped up in the garbage truck and like the dude was like looking at my cousin like, yo, what's this guy doing? And he was in there trying to start the truck, but he couldn't because there was like too much shit going on and he didn't drive. And then so then they get in the taxi and he's gone at this point. He says to the fucking driver, like he's saying all sorts of shit from the movie because everyone thinks it's funny that he's with. And then he gets in the car with the driver and he says, "I'm gonna rape you." He said that to the fucking driver of the taxi.
God damn it.
That dude, the driver got so scared, he fucking jumped out of the car and ran over to some police and fucking flagged them down and like brought him over. So this guy said he's gonna rape me, all this shit. And then my cousins were like trying to explain to the cop, like, "No, haven't you seen that movie Blood In Blood Out? I think he got arrested for doing that
shit." You can't do bits with everybody.
You can't be doing that shit.
You gotta pick and choose your bits. You gotta open up with that. You seen this? I bet.
Yeah.
You can't just open up. You just can't open up with, "I'm a rape."
Yeah, it's gonna scare the fucking shit out of dude.
Yeah. Motherfuckers are like, nah, I'm all right, bro. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Danny was kind of like he was like a rough looking dude too. You know what I mean? Like
Man.
sometimes he would intimidate people and shit just by the way he looked. So yeah,
Like
that
you're like,
shit was
oh,
funny.
you see him, you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely a Vato right here. What's up, bro?
Yeah. Oh fuck, man. But yeah. But yeah, shit, man. I guess I won't keep you for too long. Fucking this shit's great. You're always welcome to come back on the show, man. Had a
Definitely,
great
man.
time.
This has been a fun ass conversation, man.
Yeah, dude. Fucking I do this shit twice a week, every month, but for return guests, I always open up whenever, like any date and shit. And
Hell yeah, look, I'm more than willing to fucking sit here and shoot the shit with you, man. I got more stories and I got more stories that I know what to do with.
that's my favorite thing about this shit. I feel like the best interviews is when you really get to hear, you really get to hear about people and shit, and then get that deep look, man. Cause like I know that's the way I am. Like when I'm really into like some shit, like a band or like like an actor or some type of shit, I start looking up. Like I'll be up at like 2 a.m, like watching like when Bob Saget just passed away.
Yeah.
I was up to like 2 a.m watching like all the different shit like that he would talk about and shit. Like you heard that dude's the filthiest joke in the world with Bob Saget.
No, I haven't. So I've heard of it. I've never listened to it.
He
I
goes
mean,
on.
I'm meaning to listen to it.
Yeah, he does it for 7 minutes. It's almost like hard to listen to the whole thing because he just gets worse and worse and worse. But
God damn.
it's the craziest thing is just hearing it out of him, But like, yeah, like that's the kind of shit I like to look at and like, just really get to see what people are like. So yeah, I'm glad you had a great time, man. You
Hell
know,
yeah, man.
everybody watching, make sure to follow Hoodfoot on Twitter and Instagram. Um, watch Hoodfoot wrestle this weekend. You're starting tomorrow, so
Yeah. I'm gonna be making a trip out there tomorrow. Um, tomorrow will be Saturday will be ICW No Holds Barred 22. Myself versus Big F and Joe. Sunday we following up with me and Brian Keith in a no ring death match, and then the following week you'll see me versus Justin Kyle at RPW in Michigan, and then I'm off for a week, and then that following week, well, actually, I don't think I'm off for a week because it'll be February 5th. It'll be uh it'll be a show we're running here in Indianapolis called NAP. Um, it's basically a community outreach program as well, where we're helping prevent gun violence in the city of Indianapolis. And then February 20th, it will be Flophouse Wrestling. That's me versus Levi Everett. In anything goes.
ooh, that's the best kind.
Yeah, it's gonna be one, man. It's gonna be a crazy one. Also, I forgot. I think it just got announced February 4th. Paradigm Wrestling, me versus Billy Dixon. It's finally coming to head. Like I'm getting this win. Like I can't keep having somebody live in my head, man. So it's
Damn.
like I said, man. This year is about to be a crazy one, man.
Got a
And
lot.
hopefully in April I'll be busy as hell. Early April in Dallas.
Yeah, we got a lot of anticipation, from your fans, from me as well, man. You're a hell of a entertainer, hell of a wrestler, hell of a fucking athlete, and a hell of a person. I think anybody right in their mind wants to see you not only get down in there, but wants to see you succeed. With your career, you risk it all, and you're probably one of the guys that's going the hardest, if not the guy that is going the hardest to, you know, make your name. And I feel like you've made your name, but there's still so much that you can do and you have the
And
ability to do. And
it's so much work. This I feel like I'm starting to make my name, but man, it's still so much work to do, man. It's still so much grinding to get done. Um, I just hope by the end of this year, people will start taking notice.
you heard it here first, everybody. Hoodfoot. Thank you for watching Death Matches and Death Metal.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate it. It's been much love. I see you down the road here.